along with Matt Booza and Dixon Zachary as Jan Stenerud approaches the ball. Game time temperature is 37 degrees. Anderson fielding the ball at the 20-yard line, takes it out to the 26. And the Colts will put it in play from there. 6 rookie starters on this Baltimore club. 4 of them on defense, a couple of them on offense. The run back 15 yards. This is the way the Colts line up. Pagel, of course, a rookie. A couple of good running backs, however, in Curtis Dickey and Randy McMillan. Butler, veteran wide receiver. The offensive line, a lot of young players there. Terry Crouch is a rookie from Oklahoma. Colts offense has scored just 2 touchdowns in the last 4 games. And on 1st and 10 from the 26, they try to get it outside. Curtis Dickey trying to turn the corner. They did that very successfully against Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago. But short yardage picked up on that play to the 30-yard line. A pickup of 4. It'll be 2nd and 6. Mike Douglas made the stop. So look at the Green Bay front 3. Fine set of veterans there, along with the Packer linebackers. Randy Scott is starting in place of the injured Rich Wingo, who was hurt a couple of weeks ago, and Bart Starr feels comfortable there, as he does with his veteran secondary. The numbers on Pagel: 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions so far for the rookie who played for Frank Kush at Arizona State. Randy McMillan across the 30 up to the 33-yard line. Mike Butler and Cumbie making the stop for the Green Bay Packers. And the weather situation right now, 36 degrees. We understand it is snowing in Washington and heading this way. Although the weathermen were saying as of noon that they didn't expect the snow to arrive until after the game ended. But you never know. 3rd down, Baltimore Colts need 3 for the 1st down with the ball at their 33-yard line. Zachary Dixon has come into the lineup at the tailback position. It is Dixon on the carry. He's got the 1st down for Baltimore as he clears it across the 35 out to the 38-yard line. Not a large crowd here, but a very enthusiastic crowd, expected to be around 30,000.
One of the things that the coach wanted to do coming into this ball game was to run at the tackles and outside, because they didn't feel that they had enough muscle inside to run right at the Green Bay Packers.
Dixon is the leading rusher on the season thus far for the Baltimore Colts. 45 carries, averaging 4.6 per carry. 1st and 10, Baltimore from the 33-yard line. In the Colts end of the field, Pagel with the quick throw out to Ray Butler. And Butler has another 1st down at midfield. This team has come close in the last couple of weeks. They almost beat Cincinnati. They almost beat Minnesota. Getting better every week.
Frank, this is one of the plays that Zeke Brodkowski said that they wanted to try to get involved with. Because the linebacker was slow getting to that coverage area, they would try to get a quick pass over there, a winning play on 1st down. They were successful that time with Ray Butler making the catch.
Mike McCoy on the tackle. Colts have it 1st and 10 at midfield. 2nd straight 1st down in this opening drive. There's a blitz. Pagel fumbles the football as he was screened from the blind side by Mike Douglas, number 53. But the Colts managed to retain possession. However, the loss will be close to 10 yards. Nobody touched Douglas.
No one saw him coming. We were talking with Matt Douglas last night. He said this is what he likes to do. This is his favorite position, playing on the uncovered side, which gives him a lot of options. Right there, he sacked the quarterback. Almost caused a turnover.
And Douglas came up limping a little bit from that confrontation. Loss in the play moves it back to the 42-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 17. Colts from their 42-yard line have Matt Booza split wide to the left, Butler to the right, Pagel back to throw it. Steps up into the pocket, and after pumping it once, finally gets rid of the ball intended for Curtis Dickey, and did a good job avoiding the sack.
Well, one thing that Coach Kush was telling us yesterday, that because this team is so inexperienced, you know, a breakdown on each play causes them to get themselves backed up.
Pagel may have been shaken up a little bit. Mike really won this job in preseason. He did come out as the number 4 pick. Frank Kush told us yesterday he couldn't believe he was still there in the draft, and the 4th round came up, so he picked him up. And he was absolutely sensational in preseason, throwing for 7 touchdowns. Did not have a single interception. In fact, he threw 5 touchdown passes to Ray Butler. 3rd down, 17. Colts from their 42-yard line, floated over the middle, intended for Curtis Dickey, and nearly picked off by Jolly, the 5th defensive back, number 21. So the Colts will be in a punting posture, and that's one of their standout areas this year in Roan Stark, their punter, who is currently 3rd in the National Football Conference with a very fine average. Philip Epps will be deep for the Packers, number 85, who has been a sensation.
The star likes him. We asked him last night about him, and he had a smile on his face. He's a very pleasant surprise for him.
For a 12th round draft choice, left-footed by Stark, driving Epps back to the 7, the former track star from TCU, back to the 5, now starts upfield and is stopped short of the 10-yard line. Good coverage by the Colts, and one of the Baltimore players was shaken up on the play. Getting up very slowly for the Baltimore Colts is Pat Beach, a reserve. One of your better blocks of the year. Watch number 51, Guy Prather of the Packers, right there as he drills Pat Beach, and that's one reason that Beach got up very slowly.
I tell you, life is very precarious out there on the special teams.
Packers with their first offensive possession. Very poor field position back at the 9-yard line. Jefferson in motion, and they give it to Gary Ellis, and Ellis gets across the 10 out to the 11-yard line. Total of 13 rookies on this Baltimore team. This is the way the Packers line up. Lynn Dickey, of course, with his worst day of the year last week against the Detroit Lions, trying to bounce back. We thought perhaps Greg Cook would not be starting. He's been injured, did not practice all week, but he is in there right now.
Yes, Frank, he hurt his back earlier this week and lifted while he was lifting weights.
Dickey dropped from 1st in NFC passing to 4th after last week. Eddie Lee Ivory spinning out of a tackle at the line of scrimmage, but got just a yard or so. Nose tackle Leo Wisniewski, one of the young rookies, 2nd round draft choice from Penn State, made the stop, number 69. This is the way the Colts front 3 lines up. That's a basic no-name defense. Dave Simmons is getting a start today, which is his first of the year. He's a former Green Bay Packer, and a very young secondary, and one of those names in there I'm sure is familiar to the guy next to me, because Larry Anderson was a fine kick returner for the Pittsburgh Steelers for quite a few years. 3rd down and 9. Packers from the 11-yard line. Dickey back at the goal line is stretched, loses the ball. The Packers managed to recover. It looked like the Colts rush, led by Johnny Cooks, number 98, was so elated to get the sack they forgot to look for the ball.
Those sacks don't come too easily. This is one problem that the Colts have been, that the Packers have been having all year, is protecting the quarterback. They got a long route here. Right from the right of your screen, you'll see Johnny Cook, number 98, come out and sack the quarterback, but they, as Frank stated, they lost the football.
Carl Swanky, number 67, coming up with the ball. Stakowicz will be punting from as far back as he can get to the end zone. So Baltimore should come out with excellent field position. Almost had it blocked on him. Stakowicz got knocked down, but no flag. Taken at the 50-yard line by Anderson. 40, 30, and Anderson finally down at the 23-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. 49 yards on the punt, and a great return by Larry Anderson, one of your old friends.
Yes, sir, and that's what Larry does best. Larry has a Super Bowl record for returning punts. Right here, the reason they didn't call it because he was blocked into the punter.
It's a good point. But a great run back by Anderson, and the Colts have a first down at the Packer 23. As Mike Pagel ducks into the huddle, that return of 28 yards. So Pagel from Arizona State played a year and a half in college under Frank Cush before Cush departed. Pitch to Dickey. Curtis Dickey, the sprinter from A&M, down to the 20 and out of bounds near the first down marker at the 14-yard line.
Well, I tell you, these young Colts are fired up. They thought they had an opportunity to win this game coming in, and they're coming out playing like they want to win the ball game.
Well, they've got San Diego and Miami left on their schedule, so they feel if they got a shot to win one, they maybe better get it out of the way today.
I would
or else forget about it. Bart Starr not entirely happy the way the Packers have started, but he should be used to it because Green Bay is perhaps the slowest starting team in the National Football League, but they come on like gangbusters in the second half. 2nd and 1. Cleveland Franklin should have have enough for the first down. He needed just a yard. Franklin, former Baylor running back. There's Frank Kush. He can charm you to death when you talk to him, but for the last 2 days we have heard some interesting Frank Kush stories from players.
Here is Bud there. Bud is he installed this defense here at Baltimore, and he has a reputation for being a good defensive coordinator. He started at Pittsburgh, and he was very instrumental in developing Pittsburgh's defense.
Imagine you were close to him for quite a few years, weren't you?
Yes, sir. We had some good battles, very good battles.
Left the Steelers to go to the Rams, and then was dismissed along with the rest of Ray Malavese's staff last year, and wound up coaching for Kush here in Baltimore. Colts did pick up the first down after the measurement. Nose of the ball just outside the Green Bay Packer 13-yard line. Curtis Dickey down to around the 10. Pick up a 4 on the play. It'll be second down 6. George Cumbie, number 52, making the stop. Other scores around the National Football League, and of course many of the games are already underway. In the second period, the Vikings lead the Lions 17-7. That's in Pontiac. Giants and the Redskins in a defensive slug out in Washington. 7-3 in the second quarter. Wayne Morris has just run a yard for a touchdown. And at halftime, St. Louis out in front. No score in our game. We've got a second down 6, Baltimore at the Green Bay Packer 10. Not much there for Zachary Dixon, number 31, as Mike McCoy comes up to make the stop. The stadium seats about 60,000, but it's about half full right now. It's only the second home game that the Colts have had since the strike ended, but a very enthusiastic crowd. In fact, after the Cincinnati game, which they lost by 3 points, they gave the Colts a standing ovation.
That's a bit unusual, in particular when you lose.
Third down. Long 6 needed for the first down. Baltimore at the Green Bay 10. Both offense having problems again. Pagel completes the pass to Dixon. Doesn't look like it's quite enough for the first down. At about the 6 is where he was nailed by Cumbie, the number 1 draft choice of the Packers in 1980. The fans quite naturally want Kush to go for it, but he will opt for the field goal at this point and has a brand new field goal kicker to look at. Dan Miller, wearing number 1, who was drafted by the Washington Redskins and fought Mark Mosley to a standstill in preseason. They finally decided on Mosley, and aren't they lucky, with Mosley hitting his last 18.
I tell you, Miller could seal his fate right now, whether he makes, if he misses this kick right here. There's been a lot of movement here in Baltimore. Because recently 140 players have been through this camp.
23-yard effort is good. Dan Miller, who after being cut by the Redskins went to the New England Patriots and spent a month with them. And Miller puts the Baltimore Colts on the scoreboard. They lead 3-0 with 6:05 left in the opening period. Dan Miller, who was one of the leading kickers in college football last year for the Miami Hurricanes. Added just this week to the roster. Kickoff is high and short, and Del Rogers fields it for Green Bay in the 13, across the 20 to 30, and up to the 33-yard line. So the Packers will get more reasonable field position on their second offensive possession of the afternoon. Not much of a drive. Climax by the 23-yard field goal by Miller, and Baltimore leads 3-0. Colts have been ahead in the third period. They were last week, but they haven't been ahead in the fourth quarter. You see it's coming down, Joe? Have you noticed?
I noticed it.
That little white stuff. It is starting to snow here in Baltimore, ever so lightly. Packers first and 10 from their 33. Eddie Lee Ivory taking the handoff from Lynn Dickey, and Ivory gets out to the 38-yard line. Packers never got their ground game going last week against Detroit because they had to go to the air so early. I mean, they gave up the ball 3 times in the first 10 minutes of the ball game, deep in their own territory.
Bart Starr was saying yesterday that it's very important for them to establish a running game because they do want to throw the football. And if they just go out throwing the football, it creates a lot of pressure on that offensive line who's having problems of late.
Pick up a 4 by Ivory. It is 2nd and 6, Green Bay. Packers from their 37. Straight handoff. Gary Ellis across the 40 out to the 41-yard line. A lot of people talking about the Green Bay offensive line like they might really be the key.
I would think so. You know, they've had I think 9 sacks last week, and before that it was 8 sacks. And they do like to throw the ball deep to those fine wideouts. They can't get the ball to those wide receivers, and they're in a bit of trouble.
Third down. Packers need 2 for the first down to keep the drive going from their own 41-yard line. Second man through is Eddie Lee Ivory running hard, and he's got the first down for Green Bay at the 46-yard line. Good charge. Nesby Glasgow came up from the secondary to make the stop. Glasgow's the free safety who leads the Colts in tackling this year. And that's one indication you got problems when you've got your free safety leading you in tackles. That means they're getting through awful far.
That means that that's right. The defensive linemen are not making any tackles. Glasgow said he loves to hit. That's one of his favorite things.
Snow flurries getting a little bit heavier here by the moment. First and 10, Green Bay. That looked like the ball popped loose there for a second. Rodgers with great second effort. Second-round draft choice this year and a good prospect.
Well, he had made a very good cutter here at the line of scrimmage here. You're going to see Thompson miss a tackle right there, but this second effort right here, running through the tackles right there.
Got the ball bobbled loose there for a second, but he hung on very securely. Look at that drive. Great leg action. A pickup of 8 yards. Second and 2, Green Bay in Colt territory at the first time at the 47. Ellis busts through over the right side to the 40 and down to the 37-yard line. That's another Green Bay first down. Again, Nesby Glasgow making the stop. Colts, as we said, the youngest team in the National Football League, 24 years of age, and their playing experience under 2 years per man. So they've got a long, long way to go. Big turnover on the roster.
Coach Starr said that he felt that if they could run the football on these people, they'd be all right. He wanted to go at their linebackers because he felt that they were kind of inexperienced there.
Packers with a first down at the Colt 37. Ivory is really creamed at the line of scrimmage. Colts really came up the middle. Johnny Cooks, number 98. The number 1 pick in the draft for the Colts, and only the second player taken. You know, Kenneth Sims was number 1, and Cooks came right behind. You look at the Baltimore defense, you're going to see a lot of 90s. You don't see that around the National Football League, but the reason is that they have retired so many linemen. They have more retired players than any team in the National Football League. Total is 7, and many were linemen with numbers in the 70s. So they've had to go to the 90s. People like Art Donovan and Jim Parker. Down to the 36-yard line as the Packers' strategy seems to be obvious. Eddie Lee Ivory picking up 3 on that play. They're trying to keep it on the ground. Here's a look now at the numbers that the Colts have retired down through the years, more than any other team in the NFL. And quite obviously, all are in the Pro Football Hall of Fame and deserve the honor.
Well, Frank, they've had some great teams through the years here at Baltimore. And this is a great contest. This game here has a lot of tradition behind it. The Baltimore Colts and the Green Bay Packers.
Third down, 9. Big play for the Packers in this drive at the Colt 36. Dickey looking downfield for Lofton. Good defense by Burrows, the young man who returned the interception last week against Minnesota, knocking that ball away from James Lofton, the Packers All-Pro. And that will be a little bit outside a field goal range for Stenerud, so Stakowicz will come in to do the punting.
They had a lot of people around the receiver there, and they were in a double zone, and they had both of those wideouts covered pretty good.
A lot of reunions here in Baltimore today. Before the game, Zeke Bratkowski got together with Bart Starr. Zeke, of course, was on Bart's staff. Last 7 years, he's now the offensive coordinator. John Jefferson getting together with his old college coach, Frank Kush. Stakowicz angling this one for the far side, coffin corner, and puts it out of bounds inside the 5. Beautiful job by the Packer punter. And this Colt offense, which has had its problems all season long, saddled with very poor field position at the 4-yard line. A minute. Greene from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. There's Zeke Bratkowski, the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Colts. Seems strange not to see him on the Green Bay side of the field. This is the first meeting between these two clubs in 9 years. backed up deep in their own territory with a first down at their own 4-yard line. And Pagel will throw it from out of the end zone. And going long for Ray Butler. Butler is out there, but it was well defended against. Butler can move down the field, but Mark Lee, number 22, can motor as well.
That was a fine defensive play there. It was one-on-one. One-on-one. Right there, waiting to the last moment. He didn't look back until the receiver looked back, and then he made his move.
You might have noticed the cheer from the crowd. Cush has been accused this year of being a little conservative, particularly on first down, and not throwing the football. And the fans love the fact that he simply had Pagel put it in the air.
Pagel was telling us he's trying to get him to do that for 5 years.
Yeah, Mike said he tried that all the way through college and then now into the pros as well, and hadn't had much success. Swarming Packer defense. Nothing whatsoever for Randy McMillan as he tried to go around the left side. Mike Douglas, number 53, on the charge. He is an intense competitor.
Oh, Mike's a tremendous player. There was a scout in this league that told me that Mike Douglas was probably one of the best weak side linebackers in the game. Right here, he gets good penetration and stops the ball carrier McMillan.
Mike Douglas told us last night he actually went to Arizona State, played 1 year for Frank Cush, and said that was enough. He said he had him out there in the mountain with the barbed wire fence and everything else, and he said, well, this is what college football is supposed to be like, and that's this way everywhere. And he found out different when he transferred the next year.
But that was a great story.
That was a great story. Third down play, and the Colts stay conservative as McMillan out to about the 10-yard line, so Baltimore will be punting from the end zone. You know, Cush has a little camp, or used to in college at Arizona State, up at a nearby mountain, and he had the thing fenced in to keep the bears out, they said. The players had a cafeteria and had cabins they stayed in and a football field. And so when Douglas went there his first year, he said, well, I guess this is the way it is everywhere in college football. But then he elected to transfer after the first year and found out it was a little bit different. That's the end of the first period of play here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland, with the Colts leading the Packers 3-2. Second quarter about to get underway, and Roan Stark, the Colts punter, trying to keep his hands warm. He's standing 5 yards deep in the end zone. Fine high kick. Epps circling underneath it at the Packer 40. Trying to find some running room on the far sideline. 45. And doing a little tiptoe down the far sideline in front of the Packer bench. He's knocked out of bounds at the Green Bay 48. That is a punt of 50 yards for Roan Stark, who is the highest punter picked in the draft since Russell Erxleben. He was a third-round selection for Baltimore this year, and obviously well worth it.
Yes, he did get an awful lot of height on that ball, and he had probably a pretty good hang time on that, and the punt was covered very well.
Green Bay Packer first period, rather typical of what's happened to the Pack all year long. They've been outscored now 45-12 in the first quarter.
Bart was very worried coming into this ball game because his offense did not get on track last week, and through the first quarter they're still kind of struggling a little bit. And he said that the key to his offense today is in that offensive line.
Cush was saying yesterday he wouldn't mind a little sleet or snow and slow down the field, because obviously he's very concerned about his young secondary covering the likes of James Lofton and John Jefferson.
He did say that. And I think that is it's a good point, because it neutralizes that offense, the people that they have that can get deep on you.
Packers ball, 1st and 10 from their 48-yard line.
Frank, I'm cold up here. I tell you, I would be a little bit warmer down there if I was working.
You were cold before the game even started. Christmas picture postcard from Baltimore. Swing pass. Dickey out to Gary Ellis, and Ellis takes it across the 50 and into Colt territory at the 45-yard line. A pickup of 7 on the play. I can't believe as often as you played in the snow and the sleet that you'd be cold.
I'm having a hard time believing that, too. I don't know. Maybe it's my age. My blood has gotten a little thin.
What's the coldest game you've ever been in? Any stick out in your mind?
Oh, I think we had a playoff game against Oakland back in 1975. That was about, I think it was 15 degrees. We had a wind chill factor below 0.
Second down 4. Packers moving at the Baltimore Colt 45. They trail 3-0 early in the second period. Dickey sticking with the ground game, goes to Ellis, and we get our first flag. of the afternoon. Ellis looked like he picked up enough for the first down, but the penalty marker was thrown. The referee for the ball game today is Red Cashin. And the indication, illegal procedure against the Green Bay Packers, which will cost the Packers 5 yards. Green Bay, up until last week's game, was the highest scoring team in the NFL. They can really put a lot of points on the scoreboard. I think somebody brought you a present, Joe. A foot heater.
I love it.
Illegal formation by the offense. The tackle was uncovered. It'll still be second down.
So move it back to the 50-yard line. It is second down 8 for the Packers at midfield.
You know that little dive play that they just ran the last play? I kind of like that play. As a defensive player, that was a very difficult play to defend against. It looks very simple.
Looks like Bart Starr is very insistent on sticking with the ground game here. He has thrown very sparingly so far. Dickey lets one go. He's got Kaufman. Paul Kaufman, the tight end, pulls it down at the 23 of Baltimore. First down for the Packers. Larry Anderson, the strong safety, number 30, was back there defending.
Larry Anderson is going to get beat on this play here. Kaufman breaks down the middle here, and you're going to see Larry Anderson come in the picture here. Larry Anderson is a corner that's trying to make the switch to safety, and he was in very poor position in.
Of course, Anderson came to the Colts, I think, primarily as a kick returner. Now he winds up playing regular in the secondary. They've had a mass shuttle in and out of the Colts training camp. They've had at least one player move every week this year. First and 10. Huckabee is coming to the ball game, and a running back takes it down to the 20 and inside the 20. And pardon me, that was Darrell Rogers, number 35, on the carry to the 18-yard line. They pick up the 5 on the play. It'll be second down 5. This field's in good shape. There's a look at Bob Schnelker, who is the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, who's really meant a lot to the Green Bay attack this year. The fact that it really picked up. There's Schnelker. Last year he's with Detroit. You can see what happened to the Lions offense. After he came to Green Bay, the Lions have had all kinds of problems. Ball is at the Colt 18, second and 5. Dickey with a fake into the middle, trying to set up the screen, and Eddie Lee Ivory couldn't handle it.
It appeared that he was open there for a second. He just wasn't able to handle the football. The Green Bay Packers have probably run the screen pass more often than anybody in the National Football League.
Lights are on here at Memorial Stadium. Well, that last game we did against Minnesota, they just screened Minnesota to death.
Yes, they did. It was probably a key play for them in that ball game. Very instrumental in the victory.
Dickey right now is 2 out of 4 for 35 yards. And a passing situation on 3rd and 5 from the Colt 18-yard line. Packers down 3-0. Early in the second period. Hand off Rogers. We get a flag. Rogers with that great second effort. That young man has great balance. Shows how hard he is to knock off his feet. He would have had enough for the first down.
False start.
They'll bring it back. A false start by the Green Bay Packers will cost them 5. Their second penalty in this drive.
These young Colts are getting themselves in good position, but they are missing some tackles out here.
So that'll move it back to the 23-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Ball start, moving too soon. Number 74 of the offense, still 3rd down.
Bud Carson told me that they wanted to get a little bit aggressive on defense. And when you talk about aggressive on defense, that means blitz. And we'll take a look and see if they're going to blitz him on this play.
Number 74, Tim Huffman from Notre Dame. Guilty of the false start a moment ago. 3rd down 9. Dickey, protection good. Deep in the end zone for Epps.
They faked the 4-man rush there, and they dropped Cooks back in the secondary. They had a deep zone on that play.
Colts will go with 6 defensive backs, and Cooks is a tough man to stop. Number 98. Watch.
This is one of the advantages of playing the 3-4 and the 4-3. You got a guy that can play down lineman and come out and play linebacker. And right there, they gave him a bad read. They thought they were in a 4-3. Cooks dropped off and got into coverage.
Jan Stenerud with a 41-yard field goal attempt. He is 9 out of 13 on the year. Second in NFC scoring with 42 points. His longest kick this year, 42 yards. Long enough and good, and we are tied. 40 yards on the field goal by Jan Stenerud, and with 13 minutes and 28 seconds left to play in the first half. This is a 3-3 ball.
The 14th field goal in his career. He is number 2 all-time to George Blanda, who has 335. Here's Stenerud's kickoff. Larry Anderson at the 5-yard line, back to the 10, 15, threading his way up the far sideline, and finally tossed out of bounds at the 23 by Estes Hood, number 38. Snow coming down. A lot harder, but the field's still in good shape. Score tied at 3 in Baltimore. Boy, you know, with Christmas coming up Saturday and all, we should have a little snow, shouldn't we, Joe?
I think so.
I don't know if the players care for it right now. Colts have the football with a first down on their 21-yard line. They've only had 2 touchdown drives longer than 80 yards this year. And from this point, obviously, they'd have to go 79. McMillan over the left side gets a yard and a few boos. Again, as we said, Frank Kush is basically conservative offensively, and the Colts would like for him, the Colts fans, I should say, would like for him to open up a little more, particularly on the first down. Kush, 22 years in the business.
I think Zeke would like for them to open up a little bit too. You see that paper there in Kush's hand? That's the game plan, the pre-plan for this game.
Second down, 9. Very fine, powdery snow falling right now. Virtually no breeze at all. Mike Pagel airing it out. Incomplete on the far sideline as the pass was intended for Bernard Henry, number 88, the backup wide receiver. All right, Joe, you ready? I'm going to give you your big chance. Reed. Come on, Joe.
This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Baltimore Colts and the National Football League is prohibited.
Such feeling, such emotion I have never heard.
Surprise, surprise.
Third down, 9 for the Colts at their 21. Pagel is 2 out of 6 for 15 yards at this point. With 12 minutes left in the first half. Big rush by the Packers. Pagel trying to get out of it. Going to have to scramble. He'll have a first down. 25, 35, 40 up to the 50. And Pagel steps out of first bound out of the field of play at the 45-yard line. He looked around surprised that he couldn't see anybody with a white shirt.
I think he wanted to fall down. Here we're going to see what the quarterback sees right here. Pagel is trying to find someone, but the pocket breaks down. Uh-oh, he's better get out of there. Then he breaks into the open right here. I think he's surprised that there's no one near him. Now he's just looking around, having a nice Sunday afternoon stroll. Gets out of bounds, first down.
32-yard stroll for the Baltimore quarterback, and a Colt first down at the Packer 46. McMillan and Dickey, the setbacks. The fake to Curtis Dickey. Pagel on the roll, throws it on the run, and completes the pass to the tight end, Jim Sherwin, for another first down at the 32-yard line. Young man from Boston College making a fine catch in heavy traffic.
Pagel here, yesterday I was very impressed talking with Pagel because he is the guy that has an awful lot of confidence. He's not nervous out there, and he has his composure all the time. Right there you see on the heavy pressure, but he wanted to make that completion. He got rid of the ball. Sherman brought it in for the first down again.
He had to pay the price. Sherwin was a number 4 draft pick a year ago.
He's beat out the number one draft pick of a couple of years ago in Reese McCall.
First and 10, Baltimore at the Packer 33. Quick throw to the sideline, and Ray Butler picks up most of the yardage there in the crawl as he just gets inside the 30-yard line for a pickup of 3 yards in the play. Butler is the big play guy they have left. He has 11 catches this year, average 17 yards per catch. Third-year veteran from Southern Cal, and was their long ball threat last year when he caught 46 for 830 yards and 9 touchdowns. Here's our cameraman getting a little assist from the Colts mascot. Second and 7. Called at the Packer 30. Score tied at 3 here in the second quarter. It is Curtis Dickey inside the 25, and Dickey diving to the 20-yard line to pick up the first down.
Tell you, Frank, the reason that you can get a good cutback lane like that is because the guy that, like Dickey, has world-class speed. And when he takes off to that outside, you have to get to that corner. You have to get there before he does. And because of that, you over-pursue and create some cutback lanes. That's what happened on that last play.
Dickey limped off the field and will be tended to along with Terry Crouch, the rookie tackle from Oklahoma. First down. Colts at the Packer 20-yard line. Dixon, number 31, in at the tailback slot. Ray Butler in motion for Baltimore. Randy McMillan, the other setback. Zachary Dixon, there's a flag as Dixon cuts back inside at the 15 and slides to about the 13-yard line. But we had a penalty marker thrown behind the line of scrimmage. Johnny Gray coming up from the secondary to make the stop.
That's the biggest drive killer in the game. Penalties and holding, things of that sort.
So that will at least slow down this Baltimore Colt drive. Look at the Colts lineup. 9 out of their 24 starters, including their 2 specialty team men, are rookies or first-year men.
Illegal motion. 2 men moving. All not set a second before the ball was stopped. Still first down.
It's very hard to get some kind of continuity when you have that kind of inexperience in the ball on your ball club.
Bart Starr now in his 8th year with the Green Bay Packers, trying to lead them to the playoffs for the first time since 1972, and he was an assistant coach under Dan Devine. First and 15. McMillan makes the catch at the 20, loses the ball, but it pops loose, and let's see who came up with it. It was Ray Butler, number 80, who fell on the football. And the Colts are getting a break.
Yes, they did that time. Again, Pagel is dropping back and trying to find a receiver. And he gets a McMillan coming out of the backfield here. McMillan takes a strong hit right here, and he pops the ball out right here. And Butler, number 80, being in the right place at the right time.
Good defense by Terry Jones of the Green Bay Packers. Let's see, the officials will mark it at the 14-yard line. That'll set up a second down and 3 needed for the first down. Colts offense has scored 2 touchdowns in the last 4 games and 5 in 6 games. That's not much production. McMillan, who the Colts look to get the tough yards, will be close to the first down marker at the 12-yard line. Let's see where they spot it here. It looks like it might be a little bit short. It'll be third down, short yardage coming up on the play. George Cumbie made the stop. Of the 31 new additions on the Colt roster this year, 21 are rookies and first-year men. We keep pointing out these things to you just to emphasize how young this football team is. And Cush this year has been through 140 players since the start of training camp. That's a lot of people to move through.
I've been through that experience before, Frank. My first year in Pittsburgh.
Third down and 1, and they give it to McMillan to pick up the first down. No indication, and now Pagel is indicating to Cush that they still need about a foot or 2. Fourth down coming up, less than a yard needed for the first down.
Right here, they're going to have to get a surge here, and they don't get a surge. The Packers got underneath the offensive lineman, and the linebackers cleaned up coming over the top.
Colts call timeout. They're going to talk this over. We'll be back in Baltimore in just a moment. Other scores around the National Football League. Minnesota has jumped on Detroit at halftime. Giants lead the Redskins also at intermission.
The Giants trying to get back into the playoff picture here.
Colts have made their decision. They go with the field goal attempt from 29 yards from Dan Miller to give them the lead. And they went with a fake. And it is whistled dead at the line of scrimmage. They went with the fake as they tried to get the ball underneath to Barry Krause, a linebacker, and he slipped and fell. Watch it.
You got to stop penetration. Right here, number 51 gets too much penetration. He gets too much penetration for that type of play to work, which caused a missed handoff. God praise him. God praise him.
Timeout. 7:54 left in the half, and the Packers will take over. Fake field goal attempt. See the shovel pass there to Barry Krause.
Yes, Pagel shovel the ball to Barry Krause right there, but again, the play was disrupted because the number 51, Guy Clayster, he got too much penetration and forced Krause deep.
And of course, it mattered little that Roan Stark picked it up because Krause was down at about the line of scrimmage. So the Packers will take over on their 12-yard line. Snow coming down hard, as it has for the, well, ever since the first moment or two of the ball game. Eddie Lee Ivory taking the handoff, trying to string it out, but it won't work. Donnell Thompson, number 99, number 1 draft pick a year ago for the Baltimore Colts, with an excellent defensive play. He's emerging as one of the leaders on this young defensive unit, which has played very well the last couple of weeks.
Very eager to learn. I was in there watching film a couple of days ago, and he came in and took some film home. Said he was trying to get ready for the Green Bay Packers, and he didn't want any surprises out there.
Colts, keep in mind, have had 2 first-round draft picks now 3 years in a row, and they had 4 picks in the first 2 rounds this year. So they've done well off the draft the last couple of seasons, and now it's a matter of getting experience for a lot of these players. This is going to be fun about the last quarter if it continues to snow this hard.
Fun for who?
I don't know. Dickey to Lofton. James Lofton with his first reception of the day. That gets the Packers more or less out of the hole and will give them a first down at the 28-yard line. Burrow is making the stop.
That's a very difficult pass to defend against. They're here, and they got man coverage right here. And he looks back, and the ball is coming. The defensive back just reacted very slowly to the ball.
Al Burrows is getting a good education. Last week he went up against Ahmad Rashad. This is only his 3rd start for the Baltimore Colts. He was a 3rd-round pick this year out of Arizona State. Out of Michigan State. 1st and 10. Dickey fires a bullet intended for Lofton. Double covered over on the far side at the 40-yard line. Coming up next Sunday on CBS, depending on where you happen to be, this is what you see. You Packer fans will see your team in Atlanta to take on a very offensive Atlanta team. And Philadelphia will be at Dallas. And you see the indication between the 3 ball clubs. They right now would qualify with their 1-loss records as home teams in Pete Rozell's Super Bowl tournament. Of course, the Eagles are going to be out of it. So you'll see 3 teams that will probably be opening the playoffs at home next week on CBS. 2nd and 10. Again, Dickey going upstairs. Sideline throw. Lofton wide open at the 43-yard line and out of bounds for the first down after a pickup of 14 yards. Boy, he is silky smooth, isn't he?
Oh, he had him in there very good. Kim Anderson, number 26, is trying to get that deep zone, and it's going to be just a little bit short. Dickey gets the ball over his head and to the receiver before the safety is able to react up.
First, you got Lofton and Jefferson coming at you on the same side of the line of scrimmage, and that'll get your attention in a big hurry.
That's why speed is so important at your wide out position, because they can stretch that zone and make it very difficult to cover even when you have 5 people out there.
Dickey completing 50% of his passes at this point. First down at the 42-yard line. Packers in their own end of the field. Score tied at 3. Dickey unloads long for Jefferson. Out of bounds.
Dickey got hit as he threw the football in.
And Jefferson wound up with double coverage. Now in the 3rd period, the Cardinals lead the Bears by a score of 7-0 on Wayne Morris touchdown. Boy, Houston's going nowhere this year. This is a battle of have-nots, and Philadelphia leads it in the 3rd period, 21-0.
And just a couple of years ago, both of these teams were playoff contenders.
6 minutes, 3 seconds left in the first half of our game here in Baltimore in the snow.
The fall can be fast.
Huh?
I said the fall can be fast and swift.
Oh, can it ever? 2nd and 10, Packers. Dickey has Lofton and overthrows it. Lofton is 6'3" and had a step on Burrows, but Dickey overthrew it. And it'll be 3rd down. You realize if San Francisco doesn't make the playoffs this year, we'll pick this up first.
Right here, the Burrows get turned around, and he's in a trailing position now. With a good throw, he might make that catch.
I started to say, you realize if San Francisco doesn't make the playoffs this year, the last 3 years, the defending Super Bowl champion will not even have made it as far as the start of the playoffs.
And who started that?
As I recall, it was a team that you were vaguely associated with, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh didn't make it. Oakland didn't make it. And now San Francisco on the list. 3rd and 10. Dickey. Packer receiver fell down, and a flag is thrown. John Jefferson went down at the Colt 45-yard line. And the flag was thrown in that area, so we've got what looks to be a defensive holding call against Baltimore, which means an automatic first down.
That's very unfortunate because the Colts did exactly what they wanted to do on that play. They showed a blitz, they faked it, and the Packers do not have what we call a possession pass route, and they didn't come off of it, and he threw the ball into coverage.
Holding before the pass. Number 45 on the defense. First down.
The holding is against James Burrows, number 45. Let's see if we can pick it up here.
Right here, the crossing pattern right here is to create a pick. It could have been easily on the offense, and right there, I think it was Lofton and Jefferson knocking each other off. It was on the offense rather than the defense.
In that case, the Packers get a break. 5-yard penalty on the holding call rather than the longer yardage for pass interference. Green Bay 1st and 10 at their 47. The reverse. Rodgers to Lofton, and this time it doesn't work. We were talking to James Lofton yesterday. He said this play's been averaging 39 yards a carry this year, but Greg Graceland, number 52, made the stop.
Graceland has been playing very well. He just become a starter the past 3 weeks. What a linebacker's supposed to do is get depth, get as deep as the ball as the ball when it's going away from him, and he was in the perfect position to make the play on that reverse on Lofton.
I believe that'll hurt his average a little bit.
I think so.
39 yards a carry, it'll probably drop about 20. Lynn Dickey carrying through the snow. 2nd down. Loss of 8. 2nd and 18 for the Packers from their 40. Eddie Lee Ivory with a big hole over the right side, clears it across midfield and into Baltimore territory to the 49-yard line. But keep in mind they have to reach the 43 of the Colts to pick up the first down.
Frank, what I was trying to say a few minutes ago, when the Colts faked that blitz, the Packers do not have what you call a blitz control. They audible, and right then they thought the blitz was coming, and they were going to throw the ball to that open area, but they had some defensive backs back there that he didn't anticipate being back there.
Well, welcome to the winter wonderland of Baltimore, Maryland. 3rd down. Packers still need 7 for the first down. Dickey, good protection. He's got Epps at the 20-yard line, and Philip Epps, the rookie wide receiver from TCU, got behind everyone, couldn't keep his footing, but it'll be a Packer first down at the Colt 15.
Coach Starr said that he expected to get some of this double zone back here, but the soft spot in it was over the middle, right here, and they got Epps down over the middle. With his speed, being able to get back there quick. And what you should do is get a linebacker back there so that the ball can float up in the air, and they'll allow this man right here, number 34, to get over to make that play. But right there, the ball went out a straight line, and it was just too much time for him to get over there.
So the Packers rolling now with a first down at the Baltimore Colts 15-yard line. They go back to the ground game. Eddie Lee Ivory to about the 12. Clock shows 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half of play. The score tied at 3 as the teams have swapped field goals.
That's what happens sometimes when you try to disguise your defense. You want to try to disguise it a little bit so the quarterback can't get a pre-read on you. But at that time, the safety did not get to his position, and they did not get enough drop from that middleman over the middle, the linebackers.
2nd and 8. Green Bay at the Baltimore 13-yard line. Dickey slipping, sliding, still loose, going to run it to the 10, to the 5, and down to the 2-yard line. Footing getting a little rough right now. Dickey had a tough time setting up, so he simply took off and picked up the first down.
Now you're talking about disappointment. Donnell Thompson comes in here pretty good. Right there, he missed him. And now the quarterback, a guy that you know is not going to run the football, runs it for the first down and gets in position to score the touchdown.
Dave Simmons saved the touchdown. Dickey looked like a man walking on eggshells there. First and goal to go, Packers from the 2-yard line. Ellis and Ivory, the setbacks. Ivory driving to the goal line. No indication of a touchdown yet. And he was stopped by Greg Bracelet, number 52. It'll be second and goal.
It's very difficult down here when you're on the defense because you cannot get your footing, and it's easy to get pushed back.
2-minute warning going to both benches. We'll be back in just a moment.
Pleasure to work that game last year. You see a lot of next year's pros in action, and that'll be followed by the Sun Bowl football game matching the Texas Longhorns and North Carolina. All starts at 12 noon Eastern time, Christmas Day, on CBS Sports. Field turning white.
They'll have a difficult time of finding the lines here in a couple of minutes if you keep going this way.
Second down. Packers goal inside the 1. Ellis stacked up behind the line, driving hard. But he actually looked like he lost a little on that play.
It's great penetration. That is the way you play goal line defense, to get penetration, to get in those running lanes.
It is third down. Goal to go from the 1-yard line. Mike Humiston doing a good job breaking through. Colts in their goal line defense trying to thwart the high-scoring Packers. Score tied at 3, and that's the time left in the first half. Clock is moving. Timeout's really not a factor as both teams have a couple of timeouts left. Dickey going to throw it here. Slippery ball and all. And completes it for a touchdown to the tight end, Gary Lewis. John Thompson.
Problem with that, Frank, it was just too much time. He had time to look at his primary receiver, who was Roger, was coming out on the left. Turn around and look over the middle, then find the open man over there on the right. We got another look at it. Watch it all the time that he gets right here. See there? Gets one pump, another fake. And there he is right there over the middle. John Thompson catches his second touchdown. I think he's caught 2 passes this year, and both of them have been for touchdowns.
Extra point try by Stenerud. And if your picture is snowy, don't try to adjust it. That's real snow. Kick is good by Stenerud, and the Packers have taken the lead for the first time in this football game with 1 minute and 13 seconds left. Forget coming up at halftime, 1 minute 13 seconds from now. Brent Musburger and Eric Cross run down all the scores and some interesting features for you, including a great feature on one of the greatest of the Baltimore Colts. Anderson straight up the middle. Returns it to about the 30-yard line, and that will be it. Sideline markers are slowly disappearing from sight, and chances are, as Joe Greene mentioned, by the second half, we're going to be guessing as to where the ball is on the field.
Frank, you know, we played a game in Cincinnati a few years ago, and it was snow all over the place, and I was having a very difficult time of getting some traction. And, you know, our defensive linemen think they're not too smart, so I took my shoes off and thought I'd get better traction, and I tell you, my feet froze.
You took your shoes off during the game?
During the game. I was getting desperate.
First and 10 Colts at the 30-yard line. Tim Sherwin, the tight end, is in motion. They work the reverse. Butler gets loose from one man, finds the door closed, and tries to come back and gets back to about the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Mike Butler, number 77, making the tackle on Ray Butler, number 80. Weren't you afraid someone would step on your tootsies?
I tell you, I was desperate, Frank. I was not thinking.
Timeout call with 50 seconds left to play in the first half.
The timeout situation. Second down, 11. Baltimore Colts with the football at their 29-yard line with 50 seconds left to play in the first half. Packers leading by a score of 10-3. Mike Pagel at the throttle, handing off to Zachary Dixon, breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage. He got away from Terry Jones, who was the nose guard, but Butler wrapped him up at about the 30-yard line. And again, the fans would like the Colts to put the ball in the air, which they're not doing. And at this point, looks like they're going to be content to let the clock run out.
in very poor field position right now, and I don't think they want to have a turnover right here. So that's probably why they're trying to be conservative.
3rd and 9. We'll see if the Packers call a timeout here after this play to make sure they at least punt the football. McMillan on the carry to the 23-yard line, and no timeout being called. Yes, there is. We do now have a timeout called by the Packers with 1 second left on the clock. So they're going to make the Colts punt and at least have the opportunity for a run back. Memorial Stadium has turned into a skating rink here in the second period of this game. Be nice if this was Christmas Day. This is about as pretty a snowfall as you can imagine for anything but a football game.
I tell you, it brings back memories. When I watched the Steelers play last week.
Ball came loose here. McMillan lost it, but they obviously ruled that he was down.
Well, I tell you, that's like Coach Madden says, the grand can't cause a fumble. He's down.
4th down. 7 needed for the first down. Stay with us. Brent Musburger and Herb Cross will be with us at halftime. Give you an update on all the scores and highlights from throughout the league. They have disdained the punt with just 1 second left. Pagel is just going to sit on it. So the clock runs out. The first half has ended. The Packers lead it by 7. Stay tuned. Brent Musburger and Herb Cross are coming up next. The all-time consecutive field goal record at 20. He's kicked 20 field goals in a row dating back to last season. So 1 more and he's got the record. Colts will kick off in the second half, and Dan Miller, their new acquisition this week, who replaced Mike Woods, who was released, will do the honors.
The Redskins haven't scored a touchdown in 2 ball games, have they?
I think you're right. 12 points is what they have. Well, unless they had a touchdown today and missed the extra point try. I don't know. Darrell Rogers fields it at the 5, back to the 10, 15. And across the 20-yard line. Now, you get a game, Joe, where it's cold and it's wet. What do you do at halftime? Do you change clothes, or how do you try to keep dry and come out for the second half?
Well, we had one guy, Jack Ham, that he changed his entire uniform. But most of us, what we do is we try to keep your feet warm, and you want to get something warm up top, so you get a new jersey and a new undergarments up top.
Did Ham shower at halftime too?
I don't know. I didn't follow it.
Lynn Dickey back on the field, and you see the quarterbacks in cold weather. They make those little kangaroo-type pockets so they can keep their hands warm between plays, and both Pagel and Dickey have those. Ivory takes the handoff, and a flag is thrown on the first play from scrimmage in the second half. Cook's making the stop. Pick up of 3 yards in the play. The penalty will be against the Green Bay Packers.
Johnny Cooks was on that play. I tell you, this guy has an awful lot of talent. He can play most positions out there. But I think in the long run, his value to this ball club is going to be at that right defensive end position.
Here's the call from the referee, Red Cashin.
Holding number 69 on the offense. Still first down.
So that will move it back to the 12-yard line. It'll be first down 15. Cooks, well, the Colts tried him at outside linebacker to start the season. After the strike ended, they put him at inside, where he played in college, and where he's really a lot more comfortable. And Cush told us yesterday they really made a mistake by putting him outside to begin with. He weighs 240 pounds. Colts have recovered.
Anything can happen.
Big defensive play by the young Colts. Fletcher Jenkins, number 94, a 7th-round draft pick, comes up with the fumble. Watch it again.
I think we're going to see our boy involved here on this play. Right here, they do a good job of stacking it up. There's Wisniewski at the point of attack, knocking Gary Ellis away from the football.
So the Colts come up with a turnover at the 15-yard line. You saw Jenkins pluck it out of the air. It never hit the ground after Ellis had the ball jarred loose. Pagel is still in there at quarterback. McMillan and Dickey behind it. Curtis Dickey up the middle to about the 11-yard line. A pickup of 3, maybe 4 yards in the play.
play we saw them working on yesterday in their short yardage and goal line offense that is, was Dickey coming out of the backfield, getting into the linebacker area on the outside. We haven't seen that yet.
Second down, 7. Colts with the football just outside the Packer 10-11-yard line. Ray Butler in motion. Fumble by Dixon, and Dixon is caught behind the line of scrimmage at the 25-yard line for a big loss on the play. Good work by Johnny Greene, number 24, came zooming up from the secondary.
I do not like this type of play. You got cold weather out there. Their hands are cold, and that's very poor ball handling. A toss that close to the goal line when you're going to get a lot of penetration from the defense, I don't think that's an advisable play.
Colts have to get inside the 5-yard line to pick up the first down. The ball is spotted at the 23. And Miller, the field goal kicker, may be called upon here.
Put the ball in the air.
3rd and 19. For the Baltimore Colts from their 23. Pagel going over the middle. Pass is incomplete, intended for Matt Booza. Booza, number 85, former wide receiver at the University of California, who played with Rich Campbell, the Packers backup quarterback in college.
This is one time in defense of Pagel, the quarterback, and the Colts offense. I think it was just an overall poor selection of plays on that series there. They should have been throwing the ball on second down. That is not, in that area, that is not a run situation. You should throw the football.
40-yard field goal attempt will be upcoming here for Miller, with Ron Stark, the punter, to hold. Miller's previous effort successful from 23. It's long enough, and it's good. So Dan Miller bangs it through. Earning his spurs as a Colt. He had a field goal kickoff this week with Bob Thomas, the former Chicago Bear. Miller ready to kick off. Del Rogers waiting for this one at the 10. 15-20. Skates across the 25 out to near the 30-yard line. Very little snow right now. It is really let up, but the forecasters say there's 4 to 6 inches in the forecast. There's the Colts scoring drive. How many times you see a scoring drive that went minus yards?
I tell you, I wasn't too excited about that play selection.
I could tell it didn't impress you particularly.
You know, Miller's doing a good job of kicking those field goals, but he has to get a little bit more depth on those kickoffs.
Packers 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line, leading 10-6 in a game that could go either way at this point. Lynn Dickey trying to set up strong. Flag goes down as Jefferson makes the catch. Diving catch at the 41-yard line. He got 10 yards and just enough for the first down as JJ's first reception. We talked to Frank Cush about John Jefferson, who he had in college. He just glowed yesterday. His eyes lit up and said he was the best, absolutely the best I'd ever had.
Holding by the defense, number 96. Penalty is declined. First down.
And the reason for that is the holding penalty only gives you 5 yards, and the reception would give you 11 yards. The penalty is on Dave Simmons, the linebacker for the Baltimore Colts. And the Packers will have a first down at their 41. Interesting, when Miller had his kickoff with Bob Thomas, the former Bear, the other day, it snowed 6 to 8 inches last weekend here in Baltimore, and they actually had to clear the field of snow. So he rehearsed a little bit for the type of weather that he's encountering in his first effort. Not bad for a guy from Miami of Florida. Dickey hits Lofton as the defender fell down. And it's a first down at the 40-yard line. Johnny Cooks made the stop. Derek Hatchett, the corner, number 42, slipped and fell as Lofton made his cut. And I think you can see it here.
I think we're going to see the linebacker, 98, Johnny Cooks, not get in the proper position. He was turned around. If he would have been facing the quarterback, he'd have had an opportunity to make that play. But the defender did fall down, the cornerback that was covering him.
Keep in mind, the Packers have been a second-half team all year long, particularly a fourth-quarter team. 1st and 10.
from the Baltimore Colt 39-yard line. They're mixing it up pretty good right now. Del Rogers on that carry takes it to the 34 for a pickup of 6. Fletcher Jenkins, number 94, making a stop for the Baltimore Colts. Baltimore has not had a winning season since 1977. And it won't happen this year. This is the way the Packers have handled their opponents in the second half of their first 6 games so far. 98-37. Second down, 5. Ball at the 34-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. Gary Ellis hanging on this time. Takes it down to the 32. Again, it was Fletcher Jenkins, number 94, on the stop. 7th-round draft choice. Ellis, refugee from the Los Angeles Rams. It was a big find for the Packers. Now in the 4th period, Minnesota still leading Detroit 24-10. Giants in Washington. Real tight one at RFK Stadium, which looks like it'll go down to the wire. And the Bears and the Cardinals are tied in the 4th period. 3rd down. Short 3 needed for the first down, and a big hole for Ellis. And he's got the first down and a whole lot of change as he takes it inside the 20 to the 16-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. Boy, that opened up.
Yes, it did. And as I stated earlier, this is a very difficult play for the defensive lineman. You might see the nose tackle go the wrong way. You see that he got influenced out by the center, McCarron. He pulled him out of the way. And Nesby right here makes a strong hit, but Ellis runs right over him. And you don't see that happen too often to Glasgow because he is a very strong tackler.
Nesby Glasgow, the leading tackler last year and this year as well for the Baltimore Colts. But the Packers have a nifty drive going with a first down at the 16 of Baltimore. Dive play to Ellis, who will take it inside the 14, perhaps as far as the 13-yard line. You know, Lynn Dickey has made only one previous appearance against Baltimore, but that's one he's not likely to forget. And that was as a Houston Oiler back in '73 when, coming off hip socket surgery, he relieved starter Dan Pastorini and passed for 340 yards. Houston won that game 31-27, which ended an 18-game losing streak for the Oilers. 2nd and 7. Packers at the Colts 14. Drive started back at the 30-yard line. Ivory trying to cut back, but the Colts wouldn't let him. He got a yard and certainly no more than that, as he was contained by Barry Krause, number 55. Number 1 draft pick in 1979 for the Baltimore Colts. Houston has scored on Philadelphia, but looks like the Eagles have too much. They ran up a 21-0 lead and now lead at 28-14. And how about this? The Browns haven't showed anything since the strike, and they're taking it out on your old friends.
Neither has the Steelers since the strike.
Well, they've had a tough time scoring, haven't they?
Yeah, they have had a tough time, but they pin an awful lot on Terry Bradshaw.
3rd down, 6. That'll be close, but not enough for the first down, as Del Rogers carried to the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. They need to net the 6 to pick up the first. They look to be a good yard short. Jeff Delaney, number 34, and Darrell Hemphill, number 26, on the stop. Well, Dickey indicating the yardage needed to Bart Starr. Let's see if they're going to call time here. Yes, Bart indicating that he wants a timeout to discuss the situation. They have a 4th down upcoming. They'll need about a yard for the first down at the Baltimore Colts 6-yard line with 8.5. The Packers have opted for the field goal try, which would give them a 7-point lead. What do you think about that strategy?
And the Baltimore Colts are not known for scoring touchdowns this season, so it's probably a pretty good strategy.
Well, the Packers relying on their defense. First of all, Stenerud has to come through here from 25 yards, which he does.
Field goal good from 25 yards.
So the Packers lead is at 7 points. 13-6 with 8:23 left to play in the 3rd period as Bart Starr stays conservative for the Packers. Baltimore Joe, I am sick and tired of listening to you complain about the cold weather, so I've got you a pair of long johns. Now put these on and don't bother me the rest of this football.
Oh, boy, I tell you. The wonders never cease.
Kickoff time for the Green Bay Packers as Jan Stenerud puts it in the air. Coming down to the far side. And Matt Bouza managed to fail the kickoff, fumble the ball, but the play had been whistled dead. There was a penalty marker down in the play. Right size for Joe.
I think I could do something with them. I'm accustomed to wearing them in Pittsburgh. I wore them quite a bit.
Never have I heard a guy moan and groan about the Colts so much in the booth. Well, the attendance today, 32,852 with 6,932 no-shows. So actually, in person, 25,920.
Illegal use of the hands. Number 51 by the receivers. First down at 10.
So that sets the Colts back to their 14-yard line, and one thing they don't need right now is poor field position, the problems they have moving the football.
You're exactly right, Frank. That's been a problem all year, and it's continuing today.
Boozer wide to the left side. Ray Butler is split to the right. Pagel has gone all the way at the quarterback slot. McMillan taking the handoff up the middle to the 16-yard line. Keep in mind the Blue-Gray Football Classic coming up from Montgomery, Alabama on Christmas Day. And then, of course, that'll be followed by the 49th edition of the Sun Bowl, North Carolina and the Texas Longhorns.
You know, Frank, I'm kind of getting like the fans here. You know, first down, right now, they've been running the ball, and they haven't had any success with it. So the thing to do is to try to throw the football. It doesn't have to be a high-risk pattern.
I recall them throwing on one first down, and that one was early in the game when Pagel threw out of the end zone and tried to hit Butler. Here's a whistle, and that may be too much time. Now the 30-second clock still has 7 seconds showing, so that can't be the case. So let's see what Red Cashin and his crew come up with here. Well, now that's a new signal.
You got me on that one, Frank.
That one looked like no more snow is what he wanted. Signaling upstairs.
I have never seen that one.
Second down. Colts need 6 for the first down. Pagel grew up in Arizona, so this isn't really his type of weather. But he's a very confident young man, as we found out yesterday. He thinks he's going to keep this quarterback job. Here's Pagel on the roll. Sideline throw, completes it to Matt Booza, and Booza is dropped at the 35 after picking up the first down. Mike Douglas made the tackle. Good route by Booza.
I wonder what is the thinking here, you know, because he drops back right here and he throws the ball on like he's been doing it all day, and that's just no big problem with him. So why don't they do it more of this? The first down. I'm sure the fans would love to see them do more of this. Booza taking in the pass.
They're talking to Pagel yesterday. He said he's sure that Coach Cush is going to let him keep this #1 quarterback job until he runs out his rope. Again, Pagel throwing, and this time intended for Sherwin, the tight end, incomplete at the 45-yard line. And completing that thought, Pagel says he's not going to let that rope run out, so he's going to retain that #1 job. He's a very confident young man.
I was very impressed with him, with his outlook and his type of direction that he has. I think that's probably why he's starting quarterback now, because he exhibits that leadership quality in which you're looking in a person, and that's something that Coach Cush said yesterday, that he is looking for quality people, not only quality athletes but quality people.
Despite the fact he was the 4th-round pick and Schleister was #1, he did come from a passing team at Arizona State. He's used to the drop-back pass. Wide open over the middle is Zachary Dixon. Cumby catches him from behind, but not before the Colts have another first down at their 47-yard line.
This is what we've been talking about most of the day. It's something that's nice and conservative, but throwing by way of throwing the ball. They cleared out the middle right here, and he's one-on-one with the linebacker, which in most cases is a mismatch. Here's Zachary Dixon, pulls in the ball for the first down. Very good play.
Good receiver. 4th year in the league. They got him on waivers from the Eagles back in 1980. He was once upon a time an 11th-round draft choice of Denver. First down, Colts at their 47-yard line. Pagel, good protection, sends it out to Curtis Dickey. Dickey at the 50, to the 45, and down to the 43, and that'll be close to another Baltimore Colt first down, as the Colts offense picking up steam in this drive, which started back at the 15-yard line after the penalty on the kickoff.
Well, yesterday, Zeke told us that this is what they wanted to do, but why they took so long, I don't know. You're going to see a good block right here coming out of the corner of your screen. Boop, right there.
That was Cumby that was set sailing. on an excellent block over the middle by number 53, Ray Donaldson, the Baltimore center.
He's supposed to be their best offensive lineman.
Second down, less than a yard needed for the first down for the Colts at the Packer 44-yard line. Under 5 minutes left in the third period. Green Bay leading 13-6. McMillan runs into a stone wall at the line of scrimmage, gets some second effort, and that may have been enough to net him the first down. Butler 77 and Anderson number 79 on the stop. You know, Pagel coming into this game has the only rushing touchdown for the Colts this season. They have run for 1 touchdown, and that was on a quarterback sneak. It's a young man who set 7 passing records, while at Arizona State they've had some pretty good passers at that school, including Danny White, among others. Other scores around the league. The Eagles pouring it on the Oilers. You wonder how long Ed Biles is going to be around. Our score 13-6. Green Bay leading. Pagel has opened it up. Threw it behind Curtis Dickey. What are you waving your arms at?
That's the one I've been waiting for all day. The coach told me that that's the play that they wanted to try to run against Green Bay. And they threw it one time, and Dickey drops the ball.
Well, but it wasn't the easiest pass in the world to catch. He did throw it behind him.
Yeah, and he was a little bit low.
Pagel got a little eager. He saw how wide open Dickey was. Maybe hurried the throw a little bit. That'll set up a second down. And 10 needed for the first down at the Green Bay Packer 42-yard line. That's the book on Pagel so far. Butler to the right side. Booza to the left. Booza fills the spot formerly held by Roger Carr. Nice hole for Dixon. He's down to the 30, to the 25. And it's a first down for the Baltimore Colts. Zachary Dixon, number 31. Picks up the first. Mike McCoy made the stop, number 29. And saved the touchdown for the Green Bay Packers.
You're going to see Tim Sherwin and Huff do a good job of blocking here, and they congratulated themselves because of that. Cross made the tackle on Anderson, number 59. And Dixon did a good job of cutting back and reading his blocking and gaining the first down.
So the Colts, who have had problems moving the football long distances this year, they've had just 2 touchdown drives that went better than 80 yards. They're trying to get their third on the book. The ball is at the 26 of Green Bay, first and 10. Pagel giving to Curtis Dickey over the left side. Dickey, when he came to the club as a #1 pick a couple of years ago, they weren't quite sure they wanted to play him at running back or at wide receiver. He is a great world-class sprinter, and of course the 40-yard dash is what they measure pro football players by, and he runs it in 4.2 and a fraction. And that is Bob Hayes type company and Ronaldo Nehemiah territory.
I'll tell you, that's moving, Frank. That's part of the reason I'm out of the game too. I couldn't keep up with those.
What was your best 40?
I'm not telling you.
Second down, 9. Colts from the 24. Pagel hits Sherwin, the tight end, at the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Run out of bounds at that point. Pagel started looking to his left and then came back to his right.
With good reason, because Cumbie had jumped on that play pretty good. He had Dixon covered out in the left flat, so he had to come to his second receiver.
Mosley has done it again for the Washington Redskins. With only seconds remaining, he has pumped home a field goal to beat the Giants 15-14, 42 yards away, and that also would set a new record of 21 consecutive field goals for Mosley over the last 2 seasons, including 18 this year. Big play here, third down 2.
We're going to go to that play in the flats now.
Well, they didn't. They went instead to Curtis Dickey over the right side, and he'll be close for the first down at the 17-yard line. And right now, a field goal is not what the Colts need. They need a touchdown. Clock continues to roll with just over 2 minutes left in the third period. It is fourth down. They have less than a yard left for the first down.
On that third down play, Frank, we needed that little play out in the flats that he threw to Dickey earlier. They was on the tight end side, and the linebacker was going to be covered by that tight end. It was going to take him out of position. They can get a nice, safe 4 or 5 yards. That's what they needed.
A lot of these fans are on their feet right now, imploring the offense to keep the drive going. Fourth down and a yard from the 18-yard line. Cleveland Franklin is in the backfield. Pagel Going to try to run for the first down. Left something behind the football. And the Packers will take over at the 35. Pagel put it on the ground, as they say. And Mike Douglas, number 53, was there. He seemed to be unsure if he wanted to run or if he wanted to throw.
There was nobody to throw the football to, and he took the wrong time to go to the side of Mike Douglas. Right here, McCall was in the play and Douglas.
Glieber with Joe Greene at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore, Maryland. Big play by the Packer defense. Turns the ball over. Frank Kush a little frustrated right now by his offense's inability to put the ball in the end zone. Packers 1st and 10 at their 34-yard line. Look at this. A pass off the reverse. Lofton thrown to Jefferson, who is wide open. And out of bounds at the 24-yard line. The Packer reverse, which normally winds up with Lofton running the ball. This time he threw it, and not bad.
This is a classic type of play you come up with when the offense does not get a score or does make a turnover like they did. When they're a little bit down mentally, you come up with a trick play, try to get the big play, and this is what they did. Lofton was once a quarterback, I think, and he throws the ball right to John Jefferson. I think he was a quarterback in high school.
He was, absolutely.
There's no one within 20 yards of him. The ball hung up there forever, but he still was able to make the completion.
So the Packers with a first down at the Baltimore Colts 25-yard line have turned this thing around, and Del Rogers is shoved back after a pickup of a yard. I'll tell you one thing, this Colt defense isn't giving up.
They're angry now.
They are, man. You can tell it.
Coach Cunningham was telling me yesterday that that's one bright spot about this ball club, that they do not give up, regardless of what's going on. They do not give up. And if any team is going to give up, what happened on that last series is the reason to give up.
Colts, keep in mind, have just been unable to score. They have scored a touchdown in only one of their last 4 games and 3 quarters is what it amounts to right now, because we're down to 45 seconds left to play in quarter number 3. 2nd and 9 from the 24. Dickey will throw over the middle. Jefferson complete, close to the first down at the 14-yard line. John Jefferson, tackled by Kim Anderson, number 26.
Right here, they're playing. They let him get inside when there's no one inside right there, and he just catches the football. There's no one to impede the progress of the receiver.
One way that Jefferson helps this ball club, in addition to being a great pass receiver, and we talked to him about it yesterday, he's such a cheerleader on the field. He's so quiet off the field. He gets on the field, and he turns into a real cheerleader.
And he does it naturally. It's something that very few ball players have, and he has the ability to not only play a great football game, but to carry other football players with him, and that's what he does.
The 3rd period has come to an end in Baltimore. At the end of 3 quarters on. Apparently he's had some problem with him fogging up in weather like this. We asked him about the goggles last night. He started wearing those in his first year in the league when he got poked in the eye, but not because he couldn't see well, but really has protection for being poked in the eye, and they felt so comfortable he just kept wearing them all the time. But today he has taken them off, no doubt because of the weather.
He said he felt naked going at that with half.
Yeah. Well, the Packers in excellent shape, leading this ball game 13-6, and have a first down at the 14-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. Jefferson breaks the huddle wide to the left side. Lofton is split out to the right. Very crucial drive here for Baltimore. If Green Bay goes in here, it's really going to be tough. Dickey having trouble getting his footing, pulling back. And Barry Krause, number 55, bolted through there to make the stop.
Very good time to blitz right here. Here Dickey's trying to get away from it, but Dale Rogers, number 35, was slow getting in there to pick up Krause, number 55, from coming in. He makes the sack.
A loss on the play of 6 yards. It is 2nd and 16 from the 20. What you're looking at from here is about a 37-yard field goal attempt by Stenerud. Now, a field goal actually would mean that the Colts would have to score at least twice to get back in this game, and that's been a tall, tough order for him. Dickey backs into the pocket to throw over the middle. Lofton at about the 10-yard line. Hard to go down, and we could have a face mask.
Infraction there as Lofton gets up, and he is hot. Lofton feeling that someone took advantage of him and came up close to swinging.
It was a face mask.
So Jefferson holds his buddy off. Watch the tackle here. Watch for the face mask. Very good collision with Braceland, number 52.
The face mask happened right before Braceland made the tackle. But the reason he caught that ball, they're in that double zone, and the weak spot in that zone is right down the middle. And Glasgow led him to the inside. There he is as he's going by. He's going to miss the tackle, so he reaches up and grabs the face mask. He's probably a little bit upset with him because he knows he was supposed to let him inside.
Face mask by the defense, and it's still second down.
So that moves it down to the 5-yard line. It is second down. The Packers need just a yard for the first down, and of course 5 for the touchdown. Dickey has warmed up here in the second half as the snow is now stopped completely. He's 10 out of 16 for 153 yards.
I haven't warmed up.
You haven't, even with the long johns, huh?
Haven't had time to put them on.
Ivory and Ellis, the setbacks. It is Gary Ellis who gets the call over the left side, and he's down to around the 1-yard line. That will give them the first down. It'll be first and goal to go.
That was the biggest surge that the Green Bay has had today from that offensive line.
You could really see him take off. They just pushed the Baltimore Colts defensive line back about 4 yards.
Those things sometimes happen when there's a little bit of disappointment in the defensive line or on that defensive team.
First down, goal to go. 1-yard line. And Ivory behind Lynn Dickey. The rest of the T, as you can see, is in tight. Ivory trying it over the left side. No touchdown indication. He apparently did not get in, and Ivory's a little hot about it.
Offsides. I think it's offsides on Baltimore.
Take a look at Cooks here, number 98 of the Colts, from the end zone view.
I tell you, if I was a running back, I wouldn't want to meet him coming over the top like that. Oof. That's 245 pounds that can run a 4.6.
Offside, in man on the line by the defense. It's still first down.
So the Packers get yet another break. Offside against the Colts. It'll be first and goal to go once again, this time from the half-yard line. That football looks like it's sitting right on the goal line. Couldn't be much closer.
It couldn't be.
Dickey trying to guide the Packers in. Gives to Ellis. The Colts do not yield. It will be second and goal. This young Colt defense, which has performed so well the last couple of weeks against Cincinnati and against Minnesota, doing a job again. You hold a team like Green Bay to 13 points at this point. You've done very well. If you get any help at all from your offense, which the Colts aren't getting.
They'll be very much into this ball game right now. But they are they're playing real tough down there now. But their backs are against the wall, to say the least.
Second down, goal to go from the 1-foot line. Ivory smashes over for the touchdown. Eddie Lee Ivory scores. He was determined to get in that time. And that makes it a 19-6 ball game. Boy, he was really coming.
He wanted this touchdown. He's going to be led in here, too, by Gary Ellis. Right here, he led the way, and Ivory just broke through, right through the tackling right there.
Eddie Lee, who has come back from 2 serious knee operations. The extra point try. This victory, if the Packers get it, will be their 5th of the year. The kick is good, and most speculation has it that 5 victories will get you in the playoffs. That's what Eddie LeBaron told us a couple of weeks. There's Johnny Cooks, demon defender of the Baltimore
Colts as Stenerud kicks off. Larry Anderson, the ex-Steeler, from the 10 up to the 15-yard line and tripped up at the 20. Baltimore's 1st and 10. You know, Cooks, when we talked to him yesterday, one thing that impressed me, he said, I don't like this losing business. I'm a winner. I've been a winner all my life. I played on winning teams. And we're going to turn this thing around. Which impresses you? Timeout here in Baltimore. 1st and 10 Colts. First meeting of the Packers and the Colts since 1974, and the Packers lead it 20-6. Colts from their own 20. No quarterback change. Pagel is still in there and comes out throwing on 1st down this time and completes the pass. Over on the far side, not quite enough for a 1st down as Randy McMillan pulled it down, and John Anderson immediately made the stop on him. So the Colts going to have to go upstairs now to get it going. McMillan is the young man who was a #1 draft choice from Pitt a year ago and broke in the league with a 146-yard rushing day against the Patriots, the 2nd best day for a rookie ever in Baltimore history. But he's had a tough time getting going this year, particularly after the strike, as so many players have.
I think he's one of the finest fullbacks in the league, too, Frank.
2nd down 4. They got 2 great runners back there if they get some help in that offensive line. Zachary Dixon trying to do a little dipsy-do, and it doesn't work. And he is stopped at the 25-yard line. A little bit too much jitterbugging there. And, of course, the clock now working in Green Bay's favor, moving as the Colts keep the ball on the ground. Have a 3rd down and 5 upcoming. Mark Murphy, number 37, making the stop. 2nd-year free agent for the Green Bay Packers.
Well, now you're at 3rd down and you have to throw. 2nd down would have been an ideal time to throw when it's an either-or situation. The defenses are not as set for the pass as they would be right now.
Butler and Booza both wide to the right side. They've got Dickey in the slot off to the left. One running back, and that's McMillan, and Pagel running out of the pocket to the 30, up to the 35, and picks up the 1st down at the 39-yard line. Very mobile young man.
I like him as a quarterback, Frank. You say he has confidence. He believes in himself. And right there, as you stated, very mobile.
So the officials will mark it at the Colt 39-yard line with 11 and a half minutes remaining, and the Packers leading 20-6. Casey Merrill, number 78, chased him down at that point. Baltimore has San Diego in San Diego next week, and then close here in Baltimore with Miami. Booza looks the catch at the 50 and is down to the Packer 42-yard line. In fact, the Colts have probably the toughest schedule coming back after the strike of any team in the National Football League. They have not played a team this year under 500.
As always, we start this just a little too late. Very crisp pass right here to Booza in between 2 defenders. Again, good for the 1st down. But they're starting this attack a little bit too late. Now they figure the game is not close, so they're going to go and open up to what do they have to lose. They should have done this earlier.
What is it? Everybody relaxes now a little bit? Is that it?
It's not that they're relaxing, Frank. They're going to a different type of game plan.
1st and 10. Baltimore at the Packer 42-yard line. Curtis Dickey, former Texas Aggie, on the pitch down to the 38.
Until this play.
We told you what the Baltimore Colts have left at San Diego and home against Miami. That'll be a beauty here on January 2nd with the weather in this part of the country. And the Packers are on the road for their last 2 games at Atlanta and at Detroit. After what Detroit did to them last week, you can see why they were eager to win this game and more or less assure their spot in the playoffs. 2 games upcoming on the road, and they're, of course, hoping to clinch a home field advantage in the playoffs, which would put them back in Green Bay the weekend of January 9th, the first week of the Super Bowl tournament. Blitz by the Packers, and Pagel dancing out of it. Gets rid of the ball. Intended for Butler, but a little bit tall.
A little bit tall, I tell you. He did a very fine job of avoiding the rush there. They had a good pickup there on Mike Douglas, who was coming from a weak side position. And he had to jump over another defender, but in that move, he threw the ball just a little too high.
You want to read the score? Final score?
Oh, Frank, that's heartbreaking.
Huh?
Cleveland 10, Pittsburgh 9.
That's a final score. The Browns have beaten the Steelers. Steve Cox took a safety for Cleveland with 6 seconds left to play. It would have been a 10-7 ball game otherwise, but they took the safety. And the final score was 10-9 as the Steelers lose again. 3rd down 6. Colts at the 38-yard line of the Packers, and Pagel trying to get his footing on the slippery turf, couldn't get it going, and was trapped back at the 45. Casey Merrill, who is a pass rush specialist for the Packers, number 78, swooping in that time. He just couldn't get planted here.
No, he didn't. Right here, he did a good job of beating on the left side, right, number 78. He did a good job of beating the rookie 75 Crouch, and sacks the quarterback. Don't happen every time. 250 pounds on a 200-pound quarterback.
Roan Stark blowing on his fingers to keep him warm. Snap a little bit high, but the left-footed kicker gets it away. F signaling for the fair catch at the 10-yard line. That's where the rookie from TCU flags it down, and the Packers will put it in play from there with 9 minutes and 7 seconds left. The Super Bowl tournament, which gets underway January 9th. Packers with the football, 1st and 10 at their own 10-yard line. Like a nice long drive here to run out the clock as they give it to Eddie Lee Ivory up to the 14. And as you well know, Joe, that home field in the playoffs means a lot.
Oh, it certainly does, Frank. At least where I played football up in Pittsburgh, you know, we won 4 Super Bowls, and we only won 1 game on the road. That was at Oakland in 1974.
So that's what teams are fighting for right now. Not only the opportunity to get into the playoffs, but the first 4 teams to make it to the playoffs with the best record will also get the home field advantage. And the Packers are in position to be one of those teams if they keep on winning.
I wouldn't want to go to Green Bay on January 8th, I guarantee you.
2nd down 6 from the 14-yard line. The rookie, Del Rogers, as we get a penalty marker thrown up to the 15-yard line. Donnell Thompson, number 99, second-year tackle from North Carolina and a former number 1 draft choice of the Colts, making the stop.
What Green Bay would like to do is reestablish themselves as an offensive football team and still run out the clock. I would think that they would work on some things that have been problems to them of late. That is instilling some confidence in that offensive line, running some of those plays that they've been having problems with, and try to gain some momentum going into next week, which should translate into some momentum going into the playoffs.
Holding during the run. Number 82 on the offense. Still 2nd down.
Penalty is against Paul Kaufman. There's head coach Bart Starr of the Green Bay Packers. Although he's had considerable experience against the Colts during his 16-year career as a player, he today makes his first appearance against Baltimore as a coach. Last appearance in 74 of Green Bay and Baltimore. He started coaching the Packers in 75. 3rd down, long yardage play. They give it to Eddie Lee Ivory. And Ivory is out across the 10-yard line to about the 12. Not nearly enough for the 1st down. 3rd down upcoming. They need 8 for the 1st. Penalty, of course, on the play of the holding call. And the down was wiped out. Still a little bit of light snow falling here at Memorial Stadium, but the way it was coming down to the 2nd quarter, you'd have thought we'd never see a yard line marker again. It looks to be, to the naked eye, in pretty good shape. Although from the slipping and sliding, you know that isn't the case. Packers have a 3rd down 8. Rush on Dickey. And he is spilled back at the 3-yard line. So that sets up a punting situation. Okay, you're Cush now. You tell him, go get him, go get the punter.
Well, you don't want to. Right here, this is what we call a jailbreak. Everybody gets through. It wasn't just one man. On the blitz right here, Dickey, all he could do was eat the football. Glasgow coming in, too, was leading the charge, number 25.
All right, they've got 10 guys at the line of scrimmage. What do you think? Will they be coming, or will they play return?
I think they want to put pressure on them. They want to get the punt, but they don't want to get that. They don't want to get that roughing the punter penalty.
Anderson fielding the short punt at the 40-yard line and down at the 34. And markers are down all over the place. Some pretty good hitting down there. Cliff Lewis, number 56 of the Packers, came roaring down under that punt.
Got a little bit eager there, Cliff. Cost your team 15 yards, and they're going to get a lot closer to the goal line now. Well, this is what Larry does best right here. He didn't get a good run back right here. He was stopped, and there you go, right there, a late hit.
The late hit by Lewis. That'll be 15 yards tacked on the end of the run back and move the ball all the way to the Packer 19.
Lewis came across, and that's
Unnecessary roughness. Number 56 on the defense. First down.
Somehow you feel, though, Joe, looking at the Colt offense, that this team could be handed the ball on the 1 yard line and they figure out some way not to score. I mean, it hasn't come easy.
No, Frank, it has not come easy.
So here's a great opportunity. You know, they were down early. They had the fake field goal attempt. That didn't work. They were down a second time. They fumbled the ball, and Pagel just had it drop out of his hands. Now they have a first down at the Packer 19. Dickey down to about the 16-yard line. And, of course, the clock continues to roll. The Colts are 2 touchdowns down, and we're now under 7 minutes left to play in the game.
I've had my say. If I say it again, it's going to become a little redundant, but my goodness.
My goodness, what? Huh?
I'll tell you, it's every time they get in that formation, you do your scouting report. You know that's a run formation. It's a good time to do play-action pass.
2nd and 7. Pagel swings it out to Zachary Dixon, and Dixon is run out of bounds at the 12. So not much there, maybe 4 yards on the play. Johnny Gray coming up, number 24 to make the spot. Miller has been most of the Colts offense. The young field goal kicker picked up this week. One of the Colts was injured on that play, so we've got a timeout with 6 minutes and 22 seconds left to play in the game. And the injured player for the Baltimore Colts is John Sinnott, young offensive lineman who is being tended to right now. Another big evening on CBS tonight. Stay with us after the ball game. Starts with 60 minutes. Followed by Archie Bunker's Place, Gloria, the Jeffersons, One Day at a Time, and Crawford John M.D. That's tonight on CBS. Which of those are your favorite, Joe?
I like Crawford John.
Yeah?
Yeah, I watch him. Anytime I can get home, I watch them. And when I don't, the kids tape it for me.
You watch soap operas during the week, do you, Joe?
At the barber shop.
3rd down. Big play for the Baltimore Colts. They need a long 4 for the first down. They're at the Packer 13-yard line. They need a touchdown desperately. Pagel on the rollout. Bullet over the middle, and Booza grabs it for a touchdown. Oh, how sweet it is. How long it isn't coming. You hear would be much louder if this were a warm day. They're just clapping their mittens together.
Who's running a classic Turnian pattern right here, right on the post. Doing a little jiggle right there, and he gets a lot of time right here. The quarterback, you won't see it, but he waits and waits, then he zips it in there, just leading just enough away from the defender.
That's a great pass.
I tell you,
on the money.
They should pass that ball around to every coach and let everyone slam it.
Well, that makes things a little more interesting now, doesn't it? Miller is on to try the extra point, which would make this a 7-point game. With 6 minutes and 17 seconds remaining, he hits it. At long last, the Baltimore Colts offense has produced a touchdown, and these fans are getting excited all over the Green Bay. Colts fans are alive, and the Colts players appear to be pumped up too. Miller sending his kickoff down to Del Rogers at the 10. Back across the 20 and out to the 25-yard line. And that's where the Packers will put it in play. There's been a lot of talk this weekend about the Colts getting that #1 draft choice, and maybe they shouldn't win one of their 3 remaining games, so they had that shot at John Elway. What do you think about that type of thinking?
I think that's counterproductive. You know, you want to try to instill in these ball clubs that the goal is to win. Not at all costs, but the goal is to win. And you can't do that when you're going out not necessarily putting forth your best effort.
Fans is here, some 25,000 strong, about half capacity, imploring the Colts defense here to rise to the occasion and get the ball back. Dickey looking long, sets up a screen the other way to Jim Jensen, and Jensen slips and falls, gets up again and goes. And when all is said and done, he got back to the line of scrimmage.
I want to tell you, Braceland did one heck of a job of reading that screen. He was over there all alone, had 2 blockers on him, and he almost made the tackle.
There's the time factor working against the Baltimore Colts right now, who trail 20-13. But the Packers need to get a drive going to consume some of that clock.
Now the Packers are a playoff team, and they're hopefully playoff bound. To show the real character of this ball club, they need to go in and score this touchdown with no time left on the clock.
They want to reassert their authority here and show the Colts who's boss. Dickey with a pretty productive afternoon considering the elements at all. No interceptions, sharp contrast to last week. Big rush, gets the pass away, but it's short of the mark. As the Colts came blowing further that time, and Dickey had to hurry his toss. Intended for Rodgers, and he couldn't get back to it again. Braceland, number 52.
Well, Coach Carson, the defensive coordinator for the Colts, said that they wanted to blitz Dickey a little bit, and they wanted to fake some blitzes and try to confuse him. This time they came with the blitz, and it was successful for them.
Starting to snow a little bit harder now. Third down. Packers need 10 for the first down from their 25. And the momentum appears to be shifting.
This time they're going to fake it and pull out.
It's like he might be calling an audible here. Floats it out for Lofton. Lofton down at the 50-yard line. He may have pushed off. We had a flag thrown where he caught the ball, and the Colts are demanding that the penalty be called against Lofton. It looked like he may have shoved off against the defensive.
It's offense. He did.
It is. It's against the Packers.
That was an audible to the blitz. The short takeoff.
Lofton pushing off on the defensive back. Offensive pass interference. So the down will remain at third. But the walk-off will move the ball back to the 15-yard line. Here's the call from the referee, Red Cashin.
Pass interference. Number 80 on the offense. Still third down.
You think he didn't get some help on that call there, Frank?
He had the whole Colt bench jump up and down. It happened right in front of Frank Kush. 5 minutes left to play in the game. And a big third down for the Packers. Now they have a 3rd and 20. And things are getting interesting at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore as the Packers suddenly have lost the momentum. Dickey over the middle, short of the intended receiver, Philip X, and the Packers will have to punt. So the young Colt defense has done it again with 4 rookie starters. The Colt defense has held the pack one more time and will turn it over to the offense.
I'll tell you, that touchdown really gave us some life, Frank. They're playing defensively like they were playing in the first half.
That's what Stakowitz has done so far. He's standing on the goal line. And once again, it looks like Baltimore will come out of this in excellent field position. They need a touchdown to tie.
Larry Anderson is a very dangerous man running back those punts.
Anderson standing on his own 45.
That's what they're getting. They're getting the hold up.
Good punt. Anderson has to go all the way back to the 37, up to the 40, to the 45. And he has stood up straight at the 46. So now, here comes the young Colts offense. And see if they can put the 7 points. Welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. There's the quarterback comparison at this point. Lynn Dickey has had the better of it. The Packers have run the football a little bit better right now. But the score is in the Packers' favor, 20-13. But the Colts obviously have the momentum now at their own 45-yard line.
And if they're going to lose this ball game, Frank, I think the coach, they're going to have to lose it throwing the ball from this point.
That's the thing that's worked for them the best. So it would surprise us if they don't come out here with Pagel loosening up. You know, we thought about halftime maybe Cush would go and make the change, but he's stuck with Pagel here, and Pagel seems to be getting stronger now as the game goes along.
It would appear that way. He doesn't seem to be shaken by what has been happening to him earlier in the game. But this is a test for the Green Bay defense. We talking with Mike Douglas last night, and he said this is the team that they're supposed to be, and they want to go out there and take it to them.
Pagel rolling to his right, comes out throwing on first down. And the ball is trapped by Ray Butler over on the far sideline. It'll be 2nd and 10. Frank Cush, the head coach of the Baltimore Colts, on the right of your screen there. Colts today are sending in messengers with the plays. They don't normally do that. Bratkowski normally signals in the plays, but they thought since Zeke was with Green Bay and their signaling system is somewhat close to the Packers, that they'd make sure everything was on the up and up by just sending in messengers each time.
Everything goes in this game, I guess.
You don't think the Packers would try to steal a signal, would you?
No.
2nd and 10. Pagel standing strong, pocket, delivers, and it is, well, did he catch it or not? Matt Booza at the 39-yard line did pull it down for the first down.
Again, Pagel's going to get some time here, but Booza is going to get over the middle. It's a clear shot. He's got a clear throwing lane to throw the ball. There's no one getting in the way. But there should be somebody there to keep him from throwing the ball in there like that. Or he shouldn't be in there. But a good catch.
We were blocked. Saw only Booza's back there, so we can only assume he came down with it. Colts have a first down at the 39 of Green Bay. Pagel had trouble getting away from center, throws it downfield, and it's almost completed anyway. Pagel that time had the ball bobbled straight up in the air as he tried to pull back from center. And Cooley plucked it out of the air and rolled to his right and almost completed the pass.
That would have been a heck of a play if he would have completed that one.
That's Zeke Bratkowski, the former Packer, with the headset on. With the next play from the bench as Curtis Dickey and Zachary Dixon, the tailbacks, are being alternated with each play.
Green Bay needs a big play here. And they have the defensive people to do it. They've been kind of lulled to sleep all day because of this Baltimore offense.
If nothing else, the Colts are scaring them to death. 2nd and 10 from the Green Bay 39 with just under 4 minutes left. Pagel rolling to his right. Protection good. He's got all day. And finally spots a receiver open on the far side. That's McMillan. He goes out of bounds with a first down at the 22. Correction, that is Curtis Dickey, number 33. And the Colts are on the move with a first down at the Packer 22. Boy, he had all the time in the world to throw it.
He did. He's trying to find the open man. It's taking a long time for this play to develop. He does what a good receiver will do, is try to find the open spot. And he got open there, and then he got additional yardage. The Packer defensive front line is a little bit winded now. They've been rushing the passer pretty good here. They alternating earlier.
Colts score again. You're really going to hear this place explode despite the fact there are only 25,000 fans here. Zachary Dixon taking the short toss and run out of bounds near the 20. Now this is the area that the Colts have had problems in all afternoon. When they get inside the Packers 25-yard line, they managed to score just the one time on the touchdown pass to Booza a few moments ago.
I think Coach Cush is throwing that little pad away that he was carrying around with him. He's turned to a different page, Frank.
It's a throwing page is what it is, because they've been sticking with the pass here in the last few moments of the ball game. 2nd down, 8. Ball is at the 19-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. The Colts need a touchdown to tie, and we could be looking at the possibility of overtime. McMillan to the 18-yard line. So that sets up a 3rd down and a long 6, maybe 7 needed for the first down at the 18, and the clock continues to move on.
I think staying on the ground is not bad in that situation, but it's how you stay on the ground. A draw play would have been probably a good call at that point in time. They've thrown the ball every down in this drive here, so a draw play right then might have been a good play, staying on the ground.
3rd down, let's call it 6 for the first down. Colts at the Packer 18. Green Bay leading 20-13. And the Colts going for the equalizer. Big rush. He gets it away. Completes it to Dickey, who is down at the 11-yard line and looks to have enough for the first down.
the play that Coach Brakowski told me that they wanted to run. But maybe they knew what they were doing, saving it for the right time.
Moving in on 2.5 minutes left to play in the game. It is a first down at the 11.
Yes, they did. And then right here is a clear lane. To clear that out, you have to take that linebacker out of there, and the tight end does that.
Colts conceivably could make a first down without crossing the goal line if they get it inside the 1. The blitz. Pagel got it away, but he was really hammered by Mike Douglas, number 53, coming in from the right side. Douglas, as we mentioned before, is maturing into one of the best outside linebackers in the league.
I would think so. He put a lot of pressure on Pagel then. Pagel did not see him coming to the last minute. He was throwing that ball away. This guy here has a very good head on his shoulders for a young rookie quarterback.
Oh, we asked Kush what his greatest attribute was. He said intelligence. Pagel is now 17 out of 28 for 167 yards. 2nd and 10. 2:09 left of the game. Pagel over the middle. And this one is almost picked off. First of all, Dickey had a shot at it on the goal line. And he couldn't hang on to the ball. And then Maurice Harvey, number 23, got his hands on the ball and couldn't hang on.
That would have been a super play there, Frank. But he would have to turn his body around. It was a little bit behind him.
This next play should run us down to the 2-minute warning. It is 3rd and 10 for the Baltimore Colts at the Green Bay Packer 11-yard line. There have been some great games between these two teams down through the years with a lot more at stake than there is today. These two teams are slugging it out in the best tradition of Colt Packer showdowns. Pass down to the 1-yard line. That may be good for the first down. They needed to get inside the 1-yard line to pick up the first down, and I believe they have it on the 3rd down play. The tight end, Sherwin, number 83, and Booza both moving down the field. And that is Booza, number 85, reaching back. Timeout, 2-minute warning. Measurement during the timeout indicated the Colts did pick up the first down, so it'll be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Booza's catch was his 5th of the afternoon for a total of 73 yards and 1 touchdown. Booza's a young man who went to camp last year with the San Francisco 49ers, was cut, didn't play at all during the regular season, and then was brought in this year when the Colts, of course, traded Roger Carr to Seattle, the disgruntled wide receiver. And he's done a pretty nifty job for a guy who didn't cost him anything.
Certainly has. I think he was under the tutorship of Bill Walsh out there, and they was trying to get him to run those nice classic patterns like Falk. Possession type receiver.
1 minute 55 seconds left to play. The Colts have been outscored by a bunch in the 4th period this season, but not today. They have taken it to the Packers here in the last 7 or 8 minutes, come up with 1 touchdown, and are about to push another one across, which would, with the extra point, tie this game. First and goal from the 1-yard line. They give it to Franklin, and he doesn't get it over. Pretty good crunch. That's how much they need. As Pagel signals to Zeke Bartkowski.
Cumbie made a real good hit on it. He got underneath the blockers and just stopped Franklin right in his tracks.
McMillan comes in with the next play. 2nd and goal. The ball at about the 1-foot mark. Dickey 33, McMillan 32. The setbacks. Nope. Whoa, look at this. McMillan spins off the tackle and scores. He ran into a stone wall at the line of scrimmage and spun off the tackle and scored.
McMillan, as Frank noted, run into a stone wall. A tremendous hit, but he has the presence of mind, knows where he is, turns around and turns it on. Let his speed take him into the end zone, unmolested.
And got a great block from Curtis Dickey, number 33, along the way. And now the Colts are an extra point away from tying this football game with 1:22 left. Keep in mind, that's a lot of time, as those of you who saw the Raider-Ram game yesterday on CBS can attest. Miller rams it through, and we're tied at 20. Now Miller has had a very... Miller will kick off.
Coach Starr said he was concerned about this ball club. They were making steady improvement, and he was worried how his team would respond to them, particularly coming off that disaster they had last week.
Baltimore trying to win one. For the first time this year, they're the only team without a win in the National Football League, and they've got all the momentum going right now. Del Rogers fields the kickoff at the 10, 20, 25, and hurdles up to the 27 or 28-yard line. So the Packers have 1:17 seconds to try to score and prevent this game from going into overtime.
And the pressure is going to rest on the offensive line, because the coach is going to come at them. They're going to come at them with blitzes.
Packers appear to be short of players or something. Now they're indicating over to the bench. They need a tight end, and now Kaufman returns to the huddle. Frank Kush conferring with Zeke Bratkowski.
Have you seen Gary Lewis in the game today, the tight end for Greene, number 81?
I haven't. Octavia Thompson caught the touchdown pass earlier. Dickey is looking for Lofton. Almost had it picked off. Lofton double covered on the near sideline. Excellent defense by Larry Anderson, number 30, who stepped in front of Lofton and got his hands on the football.
You know, sometimes when you don't get the time to throw the football, it kind of breaks, everybody breaks down. The quarterback's timing, the receivers, they start making adjustments on their patterns, and the entire structure just goes to pot.
Packers have 2 timeouts left. Baltimore has all 3 of their timeouts. 2nd and 10. Packers from their 28. They know they're in a battle right now. Del Rogers across the 30, up to the 33-yard line. And hustled out of bounds by Leo Wisniewski, number 69, the nose tackle. 2nd-round draft choice this year from Penn State. Packers will use a timeout. Let's see, who's this one going to go against?
The Colts are calling timeout. The Colts want a timeout over there. Coach Bud Carson was signaling in to call timeout.
That's got to be confidence in your defense, doesn't it?
I would say so.
Colts sound like they want to get their hands on the football. We'll have a 3rd and 5 upcoming. Kind of a fine snowfall here right now, but the snow is coming down. Not nearly as hard or such big flakes as we had in the 2nd period. Nesby Glasgow and your old friend Bud Carson, once upon a time the defensive line coach and coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers, former head coach at Georgia Tech.
He's got a lot of experience. He knows about pressure situations too. So does that man, Bart Starr.
He's been in a lot of pressure situations, both as a player and as a coach. And right now he's just trying to get his team to get some momentum going, because the Packers don't win this, they've still got a battle to clinch their playoff spot. We were talking to Eddie LeBaron of the Falcons, who was on the competition committee a couple of weeks ago. He says 5 and 4 will get you in the playoffs. 4 and 5 will get you into a tiebreaker situation, but will not assure a spot in the playoffs. So the Packers going to need to win at least one more here along the way. 3rd down. Green Bay needs 5 for the first at their 33. They don't get it. They have to turn it over. Here's a blitz. Dickey floating it downfield, trying to get it to Lofton, and we get a late penalty marker thrown, and it is going to be pass interference. It looks like against the Baltimore Colts, number 26, who would be Kim Anderson.
Frank, he was out of the 5-yard shuck zone when he hit Lofton. And Lofton, and the ball was in the air.
And that carries with it, of course, an automatic first down. Depends now if they call it pass interference or holding. Holding is just a 5-yard penalty, but also a first down.
Illegal contact. Number 42 on the defense. First down.
So illegal use of hands. Let's see if we can see it here on the replay.
Right here, the defensive back he's got his one shot right there. It's 5 yards, and he loses contact. He can't make contact again. Right here, he might be just trying to prevent Lofton from running over him, but he did put his hands on him.
It's a first down for the Packers at their 37 with 51 seconds left to play in the game. Again, a blitz. Dickey trying to set up the screen to Ellis. 40, 45, 50. Ellis is down to the 45 and out of bounds. Well, there's the perfect play against the blitz.
Get outside of the blitz anywhere you can, and that way, that time they got out with Gary Ellis on the screen. He saw them coming. He knew they weren't going to have anybody out there. Now you got to get your linemen out there so they can block. Gary Ellis waits for the ball. Then he got an escort right here. Leotis Harris makes a good block right here, and face mask on somebody there.
Didn't call it though. First down, Packers at the Colts 45. 42 seconds left. Green Bay has 2 timeouts left. Field goal could win it. Dickey over the middle to Jefferson. He can't hold it. Intended for John Jefferson. Defended against by Nesby Glasgow. Did a good job helping strip him of the football.
Certainly did, because he made that critical mistake. The middle was wide open. He is not supposed to let that receiver get in there. And when he did, he had to go over the man to try to get the ball, and he almost was a pass interference on that.
For the record, Stenerud's longest field goal attempt is, or the successful field goal attempt is 42 yards. So the Packers are going to have to get a lot closer to give him a shot at it. 38 seconds left in the ball game. 2nd and 10. No blitz this time. Dickey gets the pass away, and again good defense. Ellis, the intended receiver, he claims he was interfered with, but Greg Braceland, number 52, got that right arm in there and batted the pass away, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
Darnell Thompson put a strong rush on Dickey. Dickey got hit as he threw the football, and he got hit pretty good.
10 with 34 seconds left in the game. Dickey now 12 out of 23 for 170 yards. Packers got to be concerned about getting a first down here. Keep this drive going. They're too far out to attempt a field goal. No blitz this time. Dickey with excellent protection, but the pass was deflected by Johnny Cooks, number 98. He got his hands on it and tipped it away from Lofton, the intended receiver.
He was tipped right at the line of scrimmage. He never got off the line of scrimmage. The offensive line did their job. They kept him off the line. You're going to see it right here. Swanky keeps him off the line, number 67, but he stays in the passing lane and jumps up and tips the ball. That's what you do when you're blocked.
That's one reason that man was the 2nd player picked in the NFL draft. He and Chip Banks of USC, who went to the Browns, were said to be the outstanding linebackers in college football last year. The Packers are going to call a timeout here to regroup on this 4th down play. They have a 4th and 10 upcoming at the 45-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. There's a timeout situation. 1 left for the Packers. I guess you got a punt here, don't you? I mean, you don't go for it and give them the ball at the 45.
I don't know, Frank. Maybe you asked number 57 over there, Darryl. Go forth.
Snow showers continue to fall here in Baltimore. Darkness has descended upon Memorial Stadium. It is really chilly. Game time temperature was 36 degrees. It has gotten progressively colder, and it started snowing early in the first period. Let up a bit at halftime and in the 3rd quarter, and it's picked up again here in the last 20 minutes or so.
Very plus territory, Frank, here. And, well, they made the decision right here. They're going to punt the ball.
Only now does the Green Bay punting unit come on the field. So the Packers, in essence, saying we'll have to settle for overtime.
I think right here is a perfect spot to try one of those trick plays. Because I think you have to go for it right now. You are in plus territory. And they have a long way to go to get on the scoreboard, too.
Ray Stackowitz standing back at the 40-yard line. 29 seconds left in regulation. Score tied at 20.
Can Stackowitz pass?
I don't think so.
I guess he can't.
Fair catch. Larry Anderson at about the 13-yard line. So the Packers will rely on their defense to hold the Colts and send this thing. That's what the Colts are going to do. They're going to take their chances with the overtime period. So the Colts are letting the clock run out. The Packers making no attempt to stop it. What happens here now is you have a 3-minute intermission, and then you will go to one sudden death 15-minute overtime period. If the teams are still tied at the end of that first quarter of overtime, that's it. But we'll have a coin toss like we normally do. Tied, it goes into the books as a tie. Otherwise, the first team that scores in any manner, field goal, touchdown, safety, you name it, wins the game. Del Rogers is deep. And Miller is ready to kick off for the Baltimore Colts. The Colts looking for their first win of the year. The Packers trying to nail down a playoff berth. Rogers waiting at the 10. Across the 20-yard line and out to the 25. Maybe just short of the 25. You been in any playoff games, Joe?
Been in a couple of playoff games. Players really don't like playoff games. You know, you spend yourself for 60 minutes, and you'd like to think that that's enough. But then the overtime games, you know, in particular when the weather is bad like it is now, you want to get in and celebrate that victory. But as the Green Bay Packers and the Baltimore Colts, I'm sure can wait till this game is over because they want to go in victorious.
First and 10, Packers at the 25-yard line. You get down to the final 2 minutes of this period, and it becomes like the final 2 minutes of the half of the game, even though it's just one quarter. Dickey passes tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Baltimore Colts at the 43-yard line. Looked like Anderson. With the interception, and the Colts take over at the 42-yard line to the Green Bay Packers. But credit that one to the tip by Johnny Cooks, who has played a brilliant game on defense for the Colts. Remember, a field goal is all they need. Dickey over the right side to the 38-yard line.
And Frank, as you mentioned earlier, they got a rookie kicker in this game. This is his first game with the Colts. He's had a big game today, but if they get in position, can you imagine the pressure that's going to be on him?
Dan Miller, who kicked earlier this year with the Redskins, released in training camp, picked up by the Patriots, kicked 2 out of 3 for them, but was released when John Smith got healthy and signed this week by Frank Bush to replace Mike Woods, and he may have a chance to win this one. He's already kicked 2. Second and 6 from the 38-yard line of the Green Bay Packers. McMillan looking for some running room. Randy McMillan, who came up with the tying touchdown on that play where he just was blocked up the middle and then spun off a tackle and peeled around left end for the score.
This game is of the utmost importance to the Green Bay Packers because, as you stated earlier, Frank, they have some tough opponents in front of them. They have Detroit on the road and they have Atlanta on the road, and Atlanta is in the playoff picture. They need this game.
They've got to get a little closer. Right now, Miller would be kicking from better than 50 yards away. 3rd down and 5. Pagel over the middle, completes it to Dickey for the first down at the 27-yard line. Now, at this point, that would make it a 44-yard field goal attempt. Should they kick it from right here?
He gets a good look. He's plenty of time to throw the football, and he's waiting for Dickey to come over the middle. Right here, a nice safe pass. Dickey hauls it in and gets the first down.
Big catch by Curtis Dickey, the former #1 draft pick out of Texas A&M. And the Colts are calling timeout. Miller making sure those shoelaces are tied. 1st and 10. Colts with the football at the Packer 27. Timeout. We'll be back in a moment. 10. Colts for the 1st and 10 at the Packer 27-yard line. Just under 2 minutes deep in the overtime period. Cleveland Franklin taking the handoff from Pagel, and there is nothing there as he tries the left side. George Cumby, the right inside linebacker for the Packers, number 52, stacked him up. Again, they need to get it a little bit closer, ideally, for this young man, Dan Miller. Looking at where the Colts are on the field right now, they have to kick a 44-yard field goal to win this game. They're at the 27-yard line of the Packers. They have a 2nd and 10. Franklin driving forward, gets it inside the 25 to the 24. So now they've shortened it to a 41-yard field goal attempt for Miller with 3rd down coming up. They'd like to get it another 5 or 7 yards closer.
Well, you don't put the ball in the air until you have to. That's the philosophy.
No, they're not going to throw it here.
Well, they need to get a little closer. They do. I mean, Frank throwing the football isn't the worst thing in the world that can happen to you.
3rd down. 8 needed for the 1st down. At the 24. McMillan takes it down to the 21, and here comes the field goal unit. All right, from the 21, you spot it 7 yards back at the 28. That makes it a 38-yard field goal attempt for Miller. He is 2 for 2 on the afternoon and attempting to become a hero in his first game in a Baltimore Colt uniform. This is for the ball game right now. If he makes it, the game is over. Of course, if he doesn't, the Packers take over, and sudden death will continue. We're about 4 minutes deep into the overtime period.
The Packers have been getting a lot of penetration up that middle. They've just been just short on several of those field goals.
The 30-second clock has just run out, and that will cost the Colts 5 yards. No one kept track of the clock. They should have called timeout, because now he's going to have to boot it from 5 yards further back. No one paid attention to that clock, and they have the timeouts available to them.
The Colts could have had Christmas a week earlier. And right now they're making it extremely difficult for themselves.
All right, Ron Stark will spot the ball at the 34. That will make it a 44-yard field goal attempt. It is blocked at the line of scrimmage. Blocked up the middle, and the Packers will take over at the 5-yard line.
There we go. Missed opportunity. They had a golden opportunity. They didn't take advantage of it. Right here, they're getting the Packers getting an awful lot of penetration up the middle, and Gary Lewis gets a lot of height up there and blocks the field goal.
You know, Lewis, number 81, who is a tight end from UTA, has now blocked a kick in each of the last 4 games for the Green Bay Packers, either an extra point try or a field goal attempt, and that may have been his biggest block of all, because that could have been the ball game. Gary Lewis credited with the block for the Green Bay Packers, and the Packers now will take over inside their own 10-yard line with 10 minutes and 54 seconds left. Block obviously changed the impetus of the ball, so the Packers will take over at their 6-yard line. Ivory trying to get outside. Couldn't get free of Derek Hatchett, number 42. picked up 3 yards, 2nd and 7. On a field goal try, it works. Probably the simplest way to say it is just like a punt.
I think that is right, Frank.
Never got across the goal line, so it is simply downed in effect by the Green Bay Packers. Packers staying on the ground and get a good move from Gary Ellis. And Ellis looks like he has a first down just shy of the 20-yard line. That gets the Packers out of the danger zone. And it is a first down, and moreover quiets this crowd down a little bit. Only 25,000 actually in attendance, which is less than half of the capacity here at Memorial Stadium. But they're making noise like 60,000.
Well, they have something to cheer about today. But I tell you, the Packers, they did what they had to do on that, because that could have been the ball game.
Packers doing well on the ground. Feed it to Eddie Lee Ivory. And Ivory gets a yard, maybe 2 up to the 20-yard line, and that's about it. Again, keep in mind, should we get down to the 2-minute mark in this overtime period, becomes the same as a 2-minute period. The end of the half or the end of a football game.
You know, from my experiences, you know, going into the playoffs, winning the Super Bowls and all that, you get that edge sometimes late in the season, and that blocked field goal could be what turns this team around. They've been lackadaisical all day, and that might have been what could turn them around.
One play can do it. Penalty markers thrown prior to the snap of the ball. Indication Colts offside.
Yeah, Wisniewski jumped off sides right over the center.
So Red Cash and the referee will walk off 5 yards, move it out to the 25-yard line. And the Packers will need about 4 for the first down. There's the
encroachment. Number 69 on the defense. Still second down.
That's the nose tackle, Wisniewski from Penn State. Rookie second-round draft choice.
This is a good Packer football team, but they were kind of sleepwalking last week, and it's continued this week. And that blocked field goal could be the play that's going to wake them up.
Well, obviously, in the last quarter there, they didn't have the killer instinct when they got the Colts down 20-6. They should have pounced on him and put it away, but they didn't. Lofton has the first down at the 30-yard line and is ripped out of bounds. Kim Anderson, number 26, on the stop. He's the young man who intercepted the tip pass by Cooks and gave the Colts an opportunity to win this football game.
Now, Lofton does have that world-class speed there, and that was a little short, quick out there. If he throw another one over there and try to get that defensive back to play him a little bit tighter, he might be able to go past him.
Lofton wide to the right side. Anderson picks up on him. Jefferson is split to the left, and Derek Hatchett staying close on him. And again, we get a whistle prior to the snap of the ball. This time it's simply a case of wanting a dry football. 1st and 10 for the Packers at their 30. In case you joined us late, we are in sudden death overtime. Packers had a 20-6 lead early in the 4th quarter, and then the Colts came back with 2 touchdowns to tie it with a minute left to play in the game. Lynn Dickey under pressure is torn down back at the 24-yard line.
That appears to be a screen pass that never developed.
Was Wisniewski coming up the middle, the nose tackle.
You see number 69 Leo Harris take off, and they just let him go too far. They let him get too much penetration. He did not hold him enough. Goforth did not hold Wisniewski long enough to let that screen pass develop.
2nd down, 16. Packers at their 24-yard line, 8.5 minutes left in the 15-minute overtime period. Dickey trying to pick up a first, goes long for Lofton. Lofton trying to field the ball, and there's a pass interference call against the Colts at the Baltimore 40-yard line. It was against Derek Hatchett, number 42, who they got earlier.
Interference. Number 42 on the defense. First down.
That was all he could do. see the ball laid at that perfectly, and Lofton had a step on him, and all Hatchett could do was to try to get across him and knock the ball down, but he had to put a hand on him just in case he missed it to prevent the touchdown.
So a big pass interference call against the Baltimore Colts puts the Packers in business with a first down at the Colt 42-yard line. Jefferson left, Lofton right. Colts giving the Packers the blitz look.
And they got it.
Ivory.
Big Donnell Thompson.
Nothing there as they stop him at the line of scrimmage. Again, there's nothing wrong with your picture. That's just the snow coming down in Baltimore. Snow on your television is for real. It's been that way on and off most of the afternoon. Loss of a yard in the play by Ivory. It's 2nd and 11. As the Colts brain trust talks it over. Bratkowski along with Frank Kush.
Got Johnny Cooks up playing left in and right in again.
Yeah, Cooks coming on the pass rush. Good defensive play by Donnell Thompson, number 99. He saw that coming all the way.
He read it perfectly. I tell you, that's what a defensive lineman likes to do. Be able to read those keys extremely quick, as he did right then. It was a quick pass, and he got right after it. I think he might have had courage because he had a linebacker coming inside. That's very rare you see a defensive lineman covering a back having the flats like that.
Down and 11 for the Packers at the Colt 42-yard line.
LC had a play like that once. LC Greene was the defensive end for the Steelers. He didn't want to cover that back coming out of the backfield.
I don't blame him. Packers need 11 to keep this drive going. Again, blitz, and again, Dickey in trouble, gets the pass away. Jefferson slips and falls, going downfield, and the Packers are looking at a 4th down.
You know you see the blitz coming, but you got to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker than this. You're not going to have time to get a 20-yard pattern going. Right there, he slips. The ball was behind him. Dickey was under tremendous pressure, and he had to get rid of the football.
Stakowitz comes in to do the punting. 7 minutes and 22 seconds left in the overtime period. Bouza is deep along with Larry Anderson for the Baltimore Colts. Colder by the minute.
It certainly is.
And you've noticed, have you? Little number goes out of bounds at the 22-yard line. Stakowitz was aiming it from the near side coffin corner, but didn't get enough on it. And hooked it out of bounds at the 22. And that's for the
game-tying touchdown. They threw the ball a great deal. They didn't come out running the ball on 1st down.
First down from the 22. He come out on 1st down throwing. And that one is almost picked off by Johnny Gray. Intended for Ray Butler. Right in front of the Colt bench. You know, you begin to wonder now about the conditioning factor in this ball game. And you know, playing for Cush, you got to be in shape, because even on Monday after the game, first thing he does have the guys come out and run 4 miles. So you know they're in shape. The Packers, who knows?
There's another way to look at that, Frank. That 4 miles can start to tail right now in the other direction.
2nd and 10. Pagel trying to avoid the rush. And is pinned back at the 8-yard line by Ezra Johnson, number 90. Great defensive move by the Packer defensive end. Now the Packers now putting the Colts in poor field position.
Back in his rookie year, Ezra Johnson, number 90, sacked the quarterback 20.5 times his rookie year. That is a tremendous feat.
I was looking at Ken Huff, the offensive guard of the Colts. You know, we were talking to Huff yesterday. He's one of the few veterans left on this Baltimore team. All of his friends have been traded or released. And he feels with all the newcomers on this team that he feels he's been traded. Because he's playing with a whole new team. 3rd down, 22 needed for the first down for the Colts. Back on their 10-yard line. Pagel retreats to the goal line. Gets the pass away to Sherwin. Not enough for the first down. It's the 21. He got it back to the original line of scrimmage. And Pagel really got waffled.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good. A good thing for him, he has on those pads. You know, those pads that the quarterbacks wear, they put around their ribs.
A lot of the quarterbacks in the league wear those flak jackets now.
Flak jackets.
That's the word you're looking for,
That's
right?
the word I'm looking for.
All right, Roan start to punt. Epps is deep. Clock is moving with 6 minutes left in the overtime period. Oh, another great kick by Stark. Epps has to retreat to his 23-yard line. 25. Up to the 30, back to the 25, and spun down at the 21. How about that kick coverage?
And when you got to have it, there it is. A tremendous punt and great coverage.
Timeout here in 10 at their 24-yard line after the 52-yard punt. Dickey trying to get solid footing, and the pass is underthrown. He had Lofton wide open at the 45-yard line, but the footing is really getting treacherous right now, and the quarterbacks on both sides having trouble planting. More great NFL action like this upcoming next Sunday on CBS. A doubleheader, the Packers and Atlanta, and the Cowboys and the Eagles. And the three teams with the records would indicate that those records right now would qualify them for a home team spot in the first round of the Super Bowl tournament. That's next Sunday on CBS.
It's always nice to play in the friendly confines of your own stadium, Frank.
Business at hand, the Colts and the Packers in overtime with 5:40 left. Dale Rogers takes the handoff, and Rogers up to the 30-yard line.
Dale Rogers, Gary.
The way this overtime period is going, no one has really gotten close to scoring after the blocked field goal attempt, and this conceivably could wind up in a draw. I don't know if there's been a tie in the league this year.
Well, Frank, we haven't had a whole lot of ball games to look at.
That's true. This being the 7th weekend on what normally would be the 15th weekend out of 16. Were it not for the strike. Packers have a 3rd and 4 from their 30-yard line. They need the first down to keep the drive going. Dickey wide open. Jefferson 45, 50, and down to the 45. John Jefferson comes up with a big play, minus goggles. He did get open.
He did get open. When you need the big play, guys like Jefferson can make it. You see all those moves he put on Glasgow? He put so many moves he fell down. That's why he was open over the middle.
Just notice behind the Baltimore Colt bench that David Hum has begun to warm up for the Colts. The 8-year veteran out of the University of Nebraska. 1st and 10. Packers at the Colts 45-yard line. So Hum conceivably could be coming in. That's Jim Jensen, who has just come into the game.
Fresh bodies. If you spoke of a few minutes ago, the length of this game might begin to tell on the conditioning.
A 9-yard pickup for Jensen, the one-time Dallas Cowboy running back, who was a number 2 draft pick. And there's David Hum, who joined this club in December of last year, was with the team 1 week and had to start against the Dallas Cowboys after Burt Jones was hurt.
If the Packers have their way, Hum will not get in the ballgame today.
Right now, the Packers seem to be rolling again. They're at the 36-yard line of the Baltimore Colts. They have a 2nd down and 1. And Jensen, driving hard, picks up the first at the 30. However, there is a penalty marker thrown to the far side.
One of those coat backers got a little bit too anxious, and he jumped early.
You know, Jensen coming in here now has provided, it looks like, a little spark. He obviously is fresh. He hasn't been playing that much, and he obviously ran very hard in the last 2 carries, and that could be a factor if this turns out to be the game-winning drive. Time left in the overtime period, 3 minutes and 27 seconds. And the option lies with the Green Bay Packers, who really can't lose here. They pick up 5 yards and will get the down over. And that's about what they had on the gain.
Offside, number 55 on the defense. First down.
So either way, the Packers would have had the first down. That's the way the 2 quarterbacks have produced. Pagel, after a very slow start, really got it going, particularly in the last quarter when the Colts opened up. But the Packers driving now for what could be the game winner. 1st and 10 at the Baltimore 30-yard line. Jensen stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Went to the well one time too often with that play. Nose tackle Leo Wisniewski making the stop. Loss of a yard in the play. Check the record books. The Colts are 2-2 in overtime games in the past. Packers have played 4. They've won 2. They've lost 1, and they tied 1, which went the full 15 minutes. 2nd and 11 for the Packers at the 31-yard line.
And this one is in danger of going the full 15 minutes.
Clock is moving at 2:45 as Eddie Lee Ivory carries to the 27. Now keep in mind that Stenerud, at 38 years of age, doesn't kick him as far as he used to. His long this year is 42 yards. And from right here at this spot in the field, you're looking at probably a 45-yard field goal attempt if the Packers don't pick up the first down. It's 3rd and 7. That's Stenerud with the jacket. He's staying warm. Talk about pressure. That's one guy you want kicking for you. He's been kicking in so many pressure situations. Passed with Kansas City and all. Ivory stacked up at the line of scrimmage. If anything, a loss of a half yard in the play.
I don't understand it, Frank. They move the ball pretty good and get to the point right here where they're getting in field goal range, and then they get extremely conservative. I know the thinking in trying to pop that back through there, but you got to throw the ball. You have to throw the football.
The official timeout is for the 2-minute warning. As we said, when you get down to the final 2 minutes in an overtime game, it is treated just like the final 2 minutes of the regular game. So this is the 2-minute warning.
Alfie, now we...
Time period. And the Baltimore Colts will take over. They have one timeout left. 1:56 remaining in the overtime. Watch Bart Starr as he watched Stenerud kick the field goal. It's in the air, and he sees that it is no good. Again, considering field conditions, considering Stenerud's background and all, 47 yards is a little bit too much to expect. Baltimore takes over at the line of scrimmage at the 29 in their end of the field. Pagel still in the game despite the fact Hum was warming up. Pass is complete to the backup wide receiver. Bernard Henry, number 88. Not quite enough for the first down as the Colts are in their 2-minute offense. Pagel trying to scramble out of trouble. Delivers the football downfield, and Henry went for the spectacular John Jefferson diving catch at the Packer 40 and almost pulled it in.
Pagel did an outstanding job of eluding the rush and getting rid of that football.
1:32 left in the overtime period. It will go into the books as a tie if neither team scores in that 1:32. Third down. Colts need 4 for the first down at their 35. Pagel, quick throw. Flipped it behind Ray Butler, the intended receiver. Mark Lee was there defending. And out comes the Colts punting team. And the Packers will get one last shot at it. Pagel perhaps complaining that he was roughed on that last play.
Well, he's been roughed all day.
There are going to be a few people on this field going to have a tough time getting out of bed tomorrow morning.
I would say so, Frank. I'm going to have a tough time walking out of here. My feet are going to sleep. It's cold.
Roan Stark to do the punting. Epps is deep, and again driving. Epps deep inside the 10. Bobbles it at the 7. Finally got control. But at that point, it was too late because Ricky Jones, number 51, was all over him. So the Packers, with 1:19 left, will start inside their 10-yard line. I tell you, they found a punter in that Stark. If nothing else, he's going to be around a while.
He's proven the coaching staff right in drafting him so high. As you stated earlier, he was the highest punter since Rick Slavin from New Orleans.
A minute 19 seconds left in the overtime period. The officials mark it at the 9. Packers with 2 timeouts left.
So what do you do from here? Do you try to get on the score, move the ball from here, or do you chance to turn over and lose the football game?
I believe you throw it. I don't believe you settle for a tie, but Dickey, good protection back at the goal line, hits Jefferson for the first down at the 22. Clock continues to move. The Packers have 2 timeouts left. Let's see if they use one here. They haven't yet. Now they do. One of the Packers fell down well after the play. That's Swanky, looks like. And he went down. How does it go for it? I think it's Swanky. It's kind of a delayed thing. He went down about the time they called the timeout. Timeout. Packers are down to their last timeout now. They have a first down at their own 22-yard line with 59 seconds left in the overtime period. Score tied at 20. Dickey over the middle, intended for Epps.